And good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. My name is Dennis Herrera, and we are here to entertain and to tell the truth and to piss some people off. So, with that being said, salud, my friends. Get your morning coffee on and let's get this party started, shall we? I know our brother Don Mitch probably waiting at the on the waiting room, listening to the Dennis Herrera Show, so that we can talk some smack about people. No, I'm just kidding. We do talk smack about people, but only because they deserve it. Let me get my phone monitoring here. I didn't get that started. What a slacker. Let's see. Have you guys noticed that sometimes when I comment on videos, you will see my username. There's a Dennis Herrera 9118 something, and then there's a .1. That's my two profiles that I have on YouTube. The second profile, it is a profile that I used to have for doing blogs, making blogs for photography and things like that. And it didn't go anywhere, so I stopped doing it. And then we started doing this channel, and, well, this is where we got the subscribers and all that good stuff. But I do plan at some point, on doing a podcast in Spanish. That way I can get cussed out in English and Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I look for trouble. This is what I do. I look for trouble. Apparently, telling the truth is really bad for your health. Really bad for your health. Now, I will say this. We're going to start off with some immigration issues. I know. People come in here and be like, oh, my God, dude, you're always talking about immigration. Yeah, that's because immigration is a problem. And it's an issue that keeps being brought up, not just here in the United States of America, but throughout the world. So I got a clip for you there. And coming up, more Democrats. More Democrats committing fraud. I'm telling you, man. Remember the old saying, oh, you voted for a 34 count felon for office. Yeah, well, we know that's not true. We know those are fake news. It seems funny to me that the people that have been accusing President Trump, and not just President Trump, but normally people that accuse others of doing stuff all the time, are normally the ones hiding something themselves. And, well, you'll see what I'm talking about. We'll get some of that information in there. And just so you know, I have a whole team of people working for me. I have a guy for the lights. I have the guy for the camera. I have a guy for the sound. I got the guy that takes care of all the bills, and all this other stuff. His name is Dennis Herrera in all counts. That's the whole team. Welcome. Good morning, Don Mitch. I can see that you're over there waiting at the doctor's appointment. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Sticks. Sticks is in the house. Unc Andy, is voting day in Florida. Unc Andy, fighting the good fight. Get to voting, my friend. Tell everybody, ICE is coming to the voting booth. Oh, man, I see how many people leave. That would just be fun, just to see who leaves. Tanya, good morning. Good to see you on here, Mr. Ender. Or is it Mrs. or Mr. Ender? Ender in the house. Thank you for visiting us. Thank you for hanging out here with the American crew up in the Western Hemisphere. Let's see. Mud Butters, how long till this channel gets shut down? I don't know, man. It's touch and it's touch and go. It's almost had a heart attack a couple of times. So we'll see how long we can continue this channel going on. I'm about to start making my new cup of coffee because I am running out on this mug. Just maybe one more cup of coffee, and I think I should be okay. Let's see. Omar, good morning. My good soldier. Soldier Omar, good to see you on here. Lone Wolf is still in here. Democrats and fraud go hand in hand. Well, Lone Wolf, I wish that you were wrong. I wish that I can say something nice about Democrats. I need to know what is something nice that they are doing so that I can say something good about them. I don't know, man. It feels like we just lost the Democratic Party, and it is what it is. What can you do, right? What are you gonna do? Let's see. Poor Befault. Let's see. He thinks my mom is still alive. God bless your soul. No, my mom is resting in peace. Thank you for bringing her into this conversation. Please, people, just people that only keep people that are alive. Okay, nobody else. That's it. That's the rule. That's the rule. Good morning, y'all. Yeah. Rest in peace, Democratic Party. It really is sad. But you know what? I don't know. Maybe someday we'll get it back. You know what I mean? We'll get it back. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. With that being said, I make sure that I say hello to everybody. Mr. Wolverine, welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see you. I'm glad that you have woken up from your elderly mid-morning nap. Good to see that. I should put a. And I wish you guys would do a PayPal instead of Super Chats, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is. I should do a little, what do you call that? A goal. Do a goal of collecting a certain amount of money, maybe $500, maybe $1,000, and then we can make a trip all the way down to Idaho, maybe all the way down to Idaho. We'll see how that goes. Good morning, In and Out. All right, guys. Now, I am not advertising. I am not. Let me see. How can I go about blocking this thing? Maybe I will. I will have to enlarge this picture. Give me a second here. I want to make sure that we're not advertising for. Oh man, how many of you guys know? We're not being sponsored, obviously, but the clip that I'm going to show you has a bottle of horny goat weed. Horny goat. Ah man, that's something Middle Easterns are probably using a lot. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and start this morning talking about a little bit about immigration. What's really weird is, and this is what I say. This is like a little warning for all the people who are hardcore leftists. Bill Maher has been talking a lot of shit, according to Democrats, but it's not really shit. It's just facts. It is the truth. Sometimes when you disagree with somebody and they're used to getting in their way, they think that you're the hateful person, but we all know the truth about that. So let's go ahead and get started with our first clip. And then we get into the nitty-gritty. You know what I'm saying? We'll get into the nitty-gritty. And then we'll see what other... we'll take a look and see what other news are out there. If you have any suggestions, you can put that on there. If I see it, I will go ahead and call it out or show it. All right, let's go ahead and start off with Bill Maher, guys. Let's take a listen to this.
If you want the American dream, you have to take the American values. You have to answer one question. Do you like Western civilization? Because that's what we are, and that's not negotiable. There's lots of stuff we don't do here, and it's not negotiable, and it's not white values. These are liberal values. People fought and died to establish them, and it's not racist to say, if you want to come here to help form a more perfect union, great. But some things are too fundamental to change. Last month, more than 70,000 Moroccan migrants breached the border and poured into a part of Spain called Ceuta. I feel for them, but I also understand why a lot of Europe freaked out about it. I sympathize with refugees, but when I see them interviewed, it's always, there's nothing here for me, the economy sucks, I don't see a future. I sympathize, but what you need is not asylum. What you need is LinkedIn. Build something in the country you live in.
Welcome back. That was HBO's Bill Maher on Friday night, saying immigrants who come to America must assimilate to America's values, must assimilate to Western civilization. There's no compromising on that. That our soldiers fought and died for this. And it's not racist to say it. Stop abusing America. But Europe is again outraged as illegal aliens tried again for a second time to break into Europe via Spain from Morocco. Let's welcome to the show veteran U.S. Army Special Forces. He's a great leader. He's Jim Hansen. Jim, what's your reaction to what Bill Maher said? America is a generous, open arms nation, but, illegal aliens basically dismiss it and, mistreat it and treat white people as racist. What Bill Maher is saying, stand up for Western civilization, Americans' values, that's not racism.
It's what this country was built on. When people came here, they had shared values, they had a shared culture, and they built a country based on that. Now you've got people coming in who absolutely disagree with those basic values and not only want to come here and change them, but they want a free ride on them without contributing anything to society. So not only do you need to agree with our founding principles, and not have an ideology or a religion that does not believe in them, but you have to come here and bring something to the table. We need merit-based immigration. We're not the world's domestic shelter.
Right. And you know what? Europe has border walls. So does Asia. So does Africa. We've seen images of it. We've had 15 straight months under President Trump without any illegal border crossings. Let's get your take on border czar Tom Homan going after far-left Democrats who want to abolish ICE. ICE has found tens of thousands of migrant children gone missing under Joe Biden. Watch this.
So you want to abolish the agency that found 151,000 children. You want to abolish an agency that sees enough fentanyl kill every American 3 times over again. You want to abolish an agency that is attacking sex trafficking and women and children across that border. It just don't make sense.
So Democrats, the DNC just made their official policy, Jim, abolish ICE. We now are tracking, we're seeing reports in 32 states, there are more than 240 bills to stop Trump's border agenda. What do you make of all this?
The idea that ICE is the problem is the problem. The Democrats have decided not only do they have enough liberal guilt that they want to bring anybody who's got a grievance from anywhere in the world here, regardless of whether that's a positive thing for anyone, but they're willing to stop us from stopping the bad people from coming in. They don't care if they're drug dealers or child molesters or human traffickers or whatever else. That's a problem for somebody else. They figure either they're going to bring them in and feel better about themselves, or they're going to also bring them in and get votes. Either way, they're doing something that's counterproductive, and ICE is fixing that. I vote for ICE over the Democrats any day.
I'll tell you, U.S. taxpayers, many, they pay more than half their taxes, half their income in taxes. 1.3 million soldiers died for America. It's time to respect America. Thank you so much, Jim Hansen. Thank you for your service to our nation.
That is the one thing that I want you to think about. The one thing that I want you to think about, and this is something that I have been arguing for the longest time, and it's that the Democrats, or let's just say people in general, because it happens on both sides, right? But the people are complaining about affordability. They're complaining about no health care. They're complaining about everything in economics and everything they can think of, but they don't want to support us. They don't want to help us to fight this illegal immigration issue that we have. That's what gets to me. We talk about all these things, and, people just focus on one little thing. But you have to look outside the box. You have to think outside the box. And for me to criticize something, I got to have the ins and outs of what we're talking about. Every time that I talk about immigration, why is immigration control so important? Remember the story that I told you guys about, when I worked at a company, everybody on the floor bitching and complaining, oh, I don't like this, or this is not right, and this is this and that and that. And then we get a corporate employee meeting. We have a company employee meeting. And then everybody gets a chance from the big boss, the big dogs, say, hey, anybody has any complaints, any issues, anything, constructive criticism or whatever, everybody shuts up. Nobody takes advantage that the opportunity to be able to speak up has come about. And then I'm the only one. I'm the bad guy. Because I go and say, well, yeah, here's a problem. Yeah, the bathroom downstairs on building D, is having this and that. A lot of people are complaining about it. I said, I'm not sure why people are not talking now, but here's the thing. And then is there anybody else? Yeah, I got one more thing. And then, they also have, and I'm saying all these things, and the people that are complaining about it, just nothing. And I'm looking around like, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to say something? Nope. Every single time. Never fails. Oh, here comes troublemaker Dennis again. Okay. Do you have any questions, Dennis? Nope. No questions. Not today. Not today. And you know what? That's exactly what these libtard and all these illegal immigrants, all these criminal people, they really are criminals. It's what they get. They don't get my sympathy no more. They don't get nothing. Not even, no penny, nothing. And so we're looking at a situation where people are complaining about housing problems. Okay, not enough housing. Okay. Too much demand, not enough supply. Oh, prices are high. Yeah, okay. Well, affordability is a problem. Oh, we can't afford this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But what are you doing to fix it? What are you doing to fix it? Let me tell you something. The rich people are not a piggy bank. The rich people are not a piggy bank. The rich people have either inherit the hard work of their parents or grandparents, or they have come from zero all the way to a billionaire status on their own, simply because this country allows you, the capitalist system allows you to create wealth. And you, my friends, can also create wealth for yourself. So here's the problem. Let's say we go ahead and tax the rich. Okay, what are you going to do to help out? Are you going to get a job? Of course you're going to get a job. Of course you're going to get a job. And then you're going to pay taxes as well. You're going to give something to the country. You're going to help out. You're going to be part of society. You're going to be part of the productive society. And here we go. That you continue to do that, and that's fantastic. Here is the problem. How do you stop the system from being abused? I gave people yesterday a big chance when I was doing my live in my car. I gave everybody a chance, but I was sitting there yawning. Like, bro, there's no way that nobody has a question or how to fix the problem. I said, how would you be able to get free health care? Busta, shut the hell up before I fucking block you from the channel. Give me an answer on the chat. Stop talking shit out of your ass. I want you to go ahead and put it on the chat. How do you fix the problem? You see, if you continue to just say tax the rich, what happens when you have a lot more illegal immigrants? Just tax the rich more? More people coming in. Well, just tax the rich some more. More people coming in. Well, let's tax the rich some more. Did you see how stupid that sounds? That's your moronic way of thinking. Socialism is a piece of shit, garbage system that doesn't work. And it always, every single time, leads to communism. Mandani is such a moron, comes from a Marxist family, he's already fucking up New York. And Democrats, those socialist little libtards, that have no wisdom or knowledge, they don't even see it happening. They don't see it happening. They're being destroyed from within, and they don't see it happening. So what's crazy is this? Listen, if you're not working, shut the hell up. You don't see me complaining about the economy, do you? So there you go. I have made a lot of money, and I have made no money. But the excuses that people make is really annoying. It's really annoying. It's the low IQ people that I have a problem with. Because they think they're so smart and they think they have the answers, and they are so easily lied to and convinced by corrupted politicians. We're going to give you free everything. Yay! Let's vote for this guy. But the fucking morons don't stop to think, okay, wait a minute. How? How are you going to do that? We're just going to tax the rich. Okay, let's do it. Tax the rich. Here we go. Money for everybody. That's not how it works. You know why normally good government gives tax cuts and breaks to big corporations? It's not because they love the billionaires because they're billionaires. It's because billionaires and millionaires create thousands and hundreds of thousands of jobs. When you tell President Trump, you said you were going to create these jobs. And then when he gives cuts to corporations to make more jobs, you bitch about it. You bitch about it. It's common sense. You got to use your common sense. You can't have that mentality. Why do I support Israel? Because the terrorist people in the Middle East are fighting against us. And Israel is the only country that keeps them in check. So if you choose Palestinians or you choose Iranians or Hezbollah and the Ayatollah and the Houthis, well, fuck you very much. Keep your shit on the other side of the ocean. But here in Western civilization, we like our country the way it is, doggone it. And if you don't like it, then get the fuck out. People coming in here talking shit like they have some information, like they have some foundation on their arguments. Well, come on and show me. Show me the foundation of your arguments. Show me how much you love this country. Tell me why are you against the ICE agents who are enforcing immigration laws that are keeping this country safe. Tell me why are you supporting criminals? Why are you so un-American and yet you can't leave the United States of America? Why is that? Well, I am a migrant. I'm very grateful. I am very blessed and honored and privileged that I have not been one day illegally in this country. 35 years in the making of a naturalized American citizen, and I'm very proud of that. Nobody can tell me shit about it. So now you have some Democrats. Bill Maher. He criticized Republicans and Trump up the yin-yang. But now he's seeing the truth. What we have known from the beginning. And now he sees the error of the ways of the liberals. We call them libtards because they're retarded. Of course they want to be liberals, but it doesn't work. You can't be a liberal and not protect this country. You just can't. You can't be a socialist with no money. Big countries like the United States of America does not work with socialism. It only works in small areas like villages. You know why? Why do you think socialism works in small villages? Let me see how smart you are. I wish you proved me how I am a hypocrite. I wish you proved me how. Now, see, I got answers. All you have is insults, but you have no facts. You have no answers. Show me. Tell me. Why would I say that socialism works in small villages? You don't even know what the fuck I just said. The only reason why socialism works in villages is because they don't depend on money. Money is a capitalist system. Do you understand? Socialism is not a money system. Do you fucking understand? Socialism is not money. Socialism is more trade, more share, more giving to those who need it most. Socialism works in villages because you can farm for everybody. You can't fucking make the United States a farm so that everybody can have food. That's not how it works. Our enemies will destroy this country before you can farm some fucking carrots. Show me. Don't just do insults. Show me. Don't ask me fucking questions. Tell me how socialism works. Come on, hot shots. Say it. How does socialism work? Without money, tell me, how does socialism work? It is the truth, isn't it? It's like holy water for you retards. The truth is like holy water for the retards. They don't know what to say. They don't know. Fuck Trump. How does socialism work? If socialism doesn't depend on money, how does it work? Democrat Socialists of America, you are a bunch of fucking communists. I know who you are, you fucking bastards. Well, this is the United States of America, and this country was founded on the great values. Socialism didn't create the great United States of America. Socialism and communism and Marxism did not create 250 years of greatness. Communism is the ass that we've been kicking for centuries. The Venezuelans know. The Cubans know. Even the Russians know. The Chinese know. Only those who are friends and family of the government get the benefit. AIPAC, not a sellout. I like AIPAC. I like to be able to give money to Israel. They are fighting for us. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. I don't give a shit what you think. I am pro-Israel. I am not pro-Iranian regime. I am no pro-Hezbollah. I am not pro-Ayatollah. I am not pro-Houthis. I am pro-Israel. And even the Saudi prince is on my side. Even the Emirates are on my side. All of those Arabs are on my side. They believe that it's better to trade and have peace with Israel than to make war, like the dumbass sons of bitches in Iran, like the Palestinians who they don't know who the fuck they belong to. Palestinian doesn't exist. They're just Arabs. Funny, somebody brought up this the whole Israel thing and this, oh, there's 1967. Shut the hell up. We all know about all that shit. I want you to go ahead and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't prove the truth to be wrong. So with that being said, I'll go back to the United States of America. How can we get a free healthcare system? You say, well, Dennis, it's impossible. No, that is very possible. Number one, illegal immigrants don't get shit. If the illegal immigrants don't get benefits, they're not allowed to work, they're not able to do anything. Guess what they are going to do? They're going to go back to their fucking country. That simple. We pay enough taxes. And we are paying more and more and more. Why do you think that is? Besides the incompetence of the Democrats, who don't know how to run a budget, how to maintain a budget. It's Trump's fault. Prices are up. You dumbass motherfuckers couldn't even make eggs appear. You couldn't even fucking lower the price of eggs. And you want to talk shit about Trump. Shut up. Go get a hot dog. They don't know how to lower the price of eggs, guys. And they're going to sit here and try to fucking teach me some economics? Really? Please. You can eat a fucking master's and doctor's degree. I will beat you in economics every single fucking day. You know what, though? I do love the United States of America because we have proven to the world that the way that we have carried ourselves has worked. And the devil likes to go ahead and point out, oh, the slavery. Shut the hell up. Everybody was slaving everybody back in the day. Oh, what the land belongs to the natives. Which ones? The Comanches? The Cherokees? Which one? The Apaches? They were killing each other for territory. They were killing each other to control some borders on their land. Shut the hell up with your dumbass victimhood mentality. Today, everybody gets a chance. Everybody can go and pursue their happiness. Everybody can make their own wealth. You can see it with responsible people, smart people that know how to maintain a budget, how to work hard, and how to save for their future. They know how to invest. Those people don't complain. Why is that? Successful. Successful. Everybody that complains about the rich, you amount to nothing. You don't bring anything of worth to the United States of America. But I can tell you something. Here we go. Let me tell you how you get free health care. First of all, you cut off all the fraud. Completely. You do not release criminals to go and destroy our economy. That's what criminals do. They make their money, but they destroy the local economy. So stop fraud. Stop fraud. Number two, you get rid of incompetent DEI hires. Those who continue to make the socialist useless programs. And they are just wasting the taxpayers' money. That's number two. Number three, you get rid of all the illegal immigrants and you let the world know nobody is getting shit. You don't get no free food. You don't get no free housing. You don't get no free welfare. You don't get no free health care. Get the fuck out of here. So many migrants, illegal immigrants, have said, why would I go to the United States of America? The border's not open anymore. And they're deporting everybody by the masses. Deterrent. And when you have that, when you get rid of the overpopulated areas, you have less demand and more supply. Instantly making things cheaper. I don't give a shit what you think. It will make things cheaper. Number four, you give incentives and, yes, more tax cuts to big corporations and companies that create hundreds of thousands of jobs. See, people think about, oh my God, well, Boeing is making billions of dollars in profit. They sure can pay more. Yeah, maybe they can. But when they get sued for $459 million, guess who has to pay it? Boeing. If a project goes down, billions of dollars are lost. And they still got to pay the insurance. They still got to be able to pay whatever they owe to the employees. That is not how it works. But I can tell you right now, Boeing has at least 10,000 jobs here in Washington State. Probably more. Probably more. But think about it. A lot of these people are making $45 an hour. A lot of these people that have spent 5 years working for Boeing, they are max cap. You understand? They are max cap at a high paying dollar. They, each one of them, pay taxes. The company pays the payroll taxes. The company also pays excise taxes. The company also pays for health insurance and benefits. The company also pays for L&I. The company also pays. Everything you fucking pay, the company has to pay as well. And that's per employee. If you chase the big businesses, the big corporations that are giving us hundreds of thousands of jobs, the working class Americans are the ones stuck with paying the bills. And the more illegal immigrants that come into our states, our cities, the more expensive it gets to the rest of the fucking tax-paying Americans. Do you understand? It's so common sense. I don't understand. I don't have to go to college to know these things. I don't need to go to college. Shit, I've been supporting myself since I was 16 years old. Almost a full-time job, full-time student. I didn't drop out. I graduated from high school with a lot of morons, with both parents, a lot of money, dropped out. So yes, it matters the decisions that you make in your life. Have I messed up? Of course. If I was smarter, if I would have been wiser, I would be a millionaire by now. But I was stupid. I made my mistakes, and I accept responsibility and the consequences that come with it. But you morons sitting on this chat insulting everybody and their mama, you are the fucking losers that don't know how to take care of your own family. And you want to go and tell the world how to take care of theirs. Well, well, well. And there you have it. That is how you get free health care for every American citizen. Not everybody, every American citizen. There is a privilege of being an American citizen. The right to vote is a privilege that belongs only to American citizens. The reason why we push to prove your citizenship when you vote is because it is a sacred privilege that belongs only to American citizens. And every single American citizen should agree with me. We need to protect that. Just saying that you're going to get charged $10,000 if you vote illegally, that doesn't mean shit. There is fines, there is jail time, there is all kinds of shit of punishments if you come to this country illegal, and we got millions of illegal immigrants. Do you think they give a shit about your voting rights? You think they give a shit about your voting rules? They don't give a shit. Today they're Pedro, tomorrow they're Juan, and the next day they're Jose. You don't know shit about who they are. You see what I'm saying? America, nobody's going to do it for you. Absolutely, man. What kind of stupid question is that? She shouldn't have been mayor in the first place. As a matter of fact, the only reason why I want her to stay mayor is so that we can prove how stupid she is, how incompetent she has been, and why she should not be in office. Katie Wilson should be fired from being mayor. You know, I only wish that I would have thought about running for mayor. I would have put my name in the hat, and I would have gone and debate these losers. I would have beat both of them, because none of them stand for American citizens. None of them. Anywho, let's go to live now, which is not really live. It's just a video clip. But I want you to listen to this, because this is something that should concern you. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You already heard me say we got to stop fraud. We got to stop scams. You know, we got to stop this waste and abuse. We got to stop drug dealers. We got to stop cartels. We got to stop corrupted American citizens dealing with cartels. We got to stop all these fucking green card holders, trafficking guns into Mexico. These motherfuckers all got to be prosecuted. See, that's why they come into my chat. These illegal immigrants and all these criminals, they come into my chat and they argue and they fight against me because they know I'm right. And they know that if they're found out, their ass is going to go to jail. Well, guess what? We are going deep into the university and find out what are they teaching. The Lambda fraternity. That's right. You heard it. A fraternity. Fraternity, not paternity. Fraternity. Check this out. This is what they teach at the universities. Oh, man. Yeah. A lot of you criminals have missed out. Here you go.
Has a lot of people talking at this point. Now, this is all coming in out of Pennsylvania. Take a look at these photos where more than a dozen people were criminally charged over the alleged ties to a cocaine trafficking ring in Pennsylvania that involved 2 fraternities and students. There are a total of 14 defendants, 13 of which were Penn State University students at or around the time of the alleged crimes, which were in 2023 and 2024. They were charged Monday. That's according to the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. 4 defendants face charges of felony corrupt organizations, conspiracy, and other offenses, while a 5th is charged with felony conspiracy and other crimes. 8 other student-age defendants are charged with misdemeanor counts like possession. One defendant, who is the father of a student, is accused of evidence tampering and hindering the investigation. At least 4 of those defendants are current students, according to the Attorney General's office. Again, there is a lot to this investigation. 2 defendants, who were the main suppliers, made routine trips to Philadelphia and New York to get large amounts of cocaine, according to the AG's office. The cocaine was then packaged mainly at the Sigma Chi and Delta Upsilon fraternity houses and distributed primarily to Penn State University students. What's interesting here is we do have this update coming in from the Pennsylvania Attorney General as he breaks down all of the charges, and I want to play that for you here right now on Live Now from Fox.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Attorney General Dave Sunday, and we're here in State College today to announce charges against more than a dozen individuals in connection with a drug trafficking operation revolving around a pair of fraternities for Penn State University students. All but one of the charged defendants were Penn State University students at or around the time of this alleged criminal conduct. These charges were the result of a long-term investigation between the Office of Attorney General, Bureau of Narcotics Investigation, State College Police Department, and a pair of statewide investigating grand juries impaneled by my office. What we learned during this investigation was that between 2023 and 2024, large amounts of cocaine, kilos, were brought from Philadelphia and New York to State College, where they were cut and packaged for sale primarily to Penn State students. The 2 main dealers, the top of the chain, if you will, were senior members of the Delta Upsilon and Sigma Chi fraternities. Agostino Abatiello was at the very top of the chain. Thomas Robinson was a rung below that on the ladder. And this poster here shows Operation Drugs Unlimited, and it shows the hierarchy of the organization. The evidence presented to the grand jury led to a recent presentment and recommendation of charges against 14 defendants. The evidence showed that cocaine was primarily packaged at the fraternity houses and that packaging was done by fraternity brothers and oftentimes pledges. In fact, we found a pattern of events that showed cutting and bagging cocaine was, for some pledges, an indoctrination into the Delta Upsilon and Sigma Chi fraternities. Before I get into further details on the investigation and conduct, let me tell you about the charges. And I want to emphasize that all of these individuals are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Agostino Abatiello, Thomas Robinson, and 2 others, Mohammed Harabi and Lars Ziepfat, are charged with felony corrupt organizations because this was a coordinated and organized cocaine trafficking operation with regular trips to those source cities and large amounts of cocaine being brought back to these fraternities. They are also charged with conspiracy, dealing in proceeds of unlawful activity, and related offenses. A 5th person, Robert Zanola, is charged with felony conspiracy and criminal use of communication facility and related misdemeanors. These are the 5 primary dealers. The 8 other student-age defendants in this case have been charged with misdemeanor counts of drug possession and paraphernalia. The only non-student charge is Thomas Robinson's father, Paul Robinson, who we allege took steps to conceal evidence, including a safe containing drugs and cash, and obstruct this investigation. All are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. I know there may be many questions about the university in regards to these students and this conduct. This is very serious criminal conduct. There was nothing junior or childlike about this type of conduct. This was an upper-level trafficking organization for this region in Pennsylvania. In fact, multiple witnesses who testified in front of the grand jury referred to Abatiello as the largest dealer of cocaine for Penn State University students. Regarding the university's knowledge or actions in response to this conduct, in consideration of the confidential nature of the grand jury proceedings and ongoing active prosecutions, I can say this: we did not hear of any drug packaging happening on Penn State's campus. Again, the packaging happened at off-campus fraternity houses. And the actual drug dealing was largely from friend to friend, fraternity brother to fraternity brother, acquaintance to acquaintance, and at fraternity houses and or during parties or social engagements. With regard to parents that might be watching this and thinking about what's happening at the school, I just want to say this. There is no city, county, community that exists that doesn't have to deal with issues such as drug use, drug dealing, addiction, and things of that nature. This is something that occurs all throughout our country and all throughout the world. And that being said, we take it very, very seriously, which is why we conducted this investigation, which is why we filed the charges we filed. And I will say that not only have we filed these charges, but I promise you that we will be watching. For students who think about going to college, being away from home for the first time, and having an opportunity to kind of do what they want, they need to understand that there are always going to be ramifications for your actions. And just because you're at college and you're making money and you think that this is something you can get away with, it's not. It's extremely serious. Law enforcement takes it extremely seriously, and we will continue to investigate and prosecute individuals that decide to deal drugs on college campuses. So how do we get to this point today? This conduct regards trafficking that happened throughout 2023 and 2024. Law enforcement employed a number of investigative tactics to identify the individuals involved, how they were obtaining the cocaine, and methods of packaging and distribution. The grand jury presentment recommending charges is available to you, as it is the affidavit of probable cause attached to the filed criminal complaints. You will read about the runs to Philadelphia and New York, the large quantities of cocaine that came back from these sources, and the transactions, large and small, that followed. I will note that Thomas Robinson was charged previously as well in December of 2024 with drug dealing. Charges against all 14 defendants were filed this morning. The majority of those with felony charges were arraigned this morning, with the exception of Abatiello, who a warrant has been issued for his arrest. I want to conclude by thanking the members of my office, the Office of Attorney General, the agents and the attorneys, and the State College Police Department for their diligent work, their investigation, and the time that they committed to this investigation that we're here to talk about today. I want to thank the grand jurors for their diligence while hearing from the many witnesses who provided testimony and evaluating that testimony before ultimately recommending the charges that we have filed today. At this time, I will note that this is an ongoing investigation. There are certain secrecy aspects that are still in place. And obviously, with that being said, there are certain things we cannot discuss at this time, but to the best of our ability, we will answer the questions that we can. So if anyone has any questions, we will take those questions now.
Do you know if any of them are still Penn State students, or?
As of now, none of them are still. The 14 individuals that we filed charges against, none of which are still Penn State students.
With the charges dating back to 2023 or the investigation, some might ask why weren't these folks arrested earlier if they were doing this amount of drugs?
So the incidents occurred during the course of 2023, 2024, and that's when obviously we then were brought in. Investigations of this nature take time. They're very detailed, and what we wanted to do was make sure that we took the time to arrest all of these individuals so that we could do our best to root out this criminal organization to stop it from being able to continue to deal cocaine in the future.
You said pledges were sometimes made to package cocaine as part of initiation. Are there going to be any hazing-like charges filed or anything of that nature?
Well, so this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about this is an ongoing investigation. We're here today to discuss the 14 defendants and specifically the drug charges that were filed against them. All right, hearing no further questions, thank you for being here this morning. And again, I want to thank the hard work of the law enforcement agents that worked on this case. I want to thank the prosecutors that worked on this case. I want to thank the analysts and everyone else that collectively put in their time to make sure that we could do everything we can to get these drugs off the streets. Thank you.
All right, again, that was Pennsylvania Attorney.
Democrat Socialists of America, they're true fucking communists trying to destroy the United States of America. I try to look at this information on CNN at no avail, of course. CNN is a leftist legacy media outlet that doesn't give a shit about the truth nor the American people. Well, today, if you come in here, you're going to hear the truth. So, since we have a DSA private Tim stool here, I want you to tell me your plan. How do you accomplish free health care for all? Go ahead. You can knock yourself out on the chat. Have fun. Do your thing. But I have another clip that I want to share. But before I share my next clip, I want to share this little interesting little fact that I found around here. Oh yeah. I got a plan. But yeah. Hammerman, I don't know what the hell you're laughing. Are you laughing at yourself? Hammerman is over here doing a mic drop on himself. Unbelievable. Remember when I told you that that these libtards like to complain about President Donald Trump and his 34 count felonies and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Well, what do we have here? Another sunshine story about Democrats. You just can't make this stuff up, folks. This is a former New Mexico State representative. You guys know where I'm going with this if you've been hearing and paying attention to the news. Cheryl Williams Stapleton was convicted on August 14th of 2026 by a federal jury in Albuquerque on all 37 counts, including, the Democrats are so famous for these things, including bribery, mail fraud. What? You don't say. Mail fraud? How does that work? Yeah. DSA, here you go. You ready for this? I'm going to drop a bomb on you. You ready? Here we go. Do you know why we are allowed to plead the fifth? Fantastic. I'm glad that you know why. Now you know what the difference between Fauci and President Donald Trump is? I know this is going to be news. This is going to be something that the libtards just don't have enough common sense to think about. And there is this key word, just one word. What is the word? Let's see. Trump 450 times, the fifth. Fauci 115. Yeah. I think the word that separates these two is called pardon. You have a presidential pardon. What the fuck are you claiming the fifth for? You can't be prosecuted. Corruption up the yin-yang. Well, hey, don't take my word for it. I want you to read this with me. Well, look at this. She schemed for 8 years to steer millions in public school funds. School funds, you don't say. To an associate's company in exchange for roughly $1.15 million. You don't say. I hate to tell you, I told you so. But I told you so. I'm only laughing at your retarded minds. I'm not laughing about the situation. There's a big difference on that. We told you. Hey, I told you the Democrats are fraud. I told you the Democrats are blocking investigation. I told you. I tell you, they don't care about American citizens. You don't listen. They only care about illegal immigrants because it's easy to control the criminal. But you don't listen. You do not listen at all. So now you're fucked. Defendants Cheryl Williams Stapleton, former Democratic state representative in Albuquerque, public schools administrator. Well. Cutting edge, making me pause here. Prices by country in Europe, Denmark, and the Netherlands. $10 to $10.14 USA, Germany and Finland, $8.90 to $9.20. U.S., France, Greece, $8.30, $8.50, Spain and Ireland, $7.20, $7.80. That's right, baby. That's right. Facts. I love it when people drop facts, man. Cutting edge, man. You're always on point, brother. You are. This is your channel, just so you know. This is also your channel. You have been with me for so long. 9 months right here. You've been with me for 9 months. And every time you make a comment, it's always been common sense and factual. Things that we can actually, prove to people. And I appreciate you. You know you're my brother. Somos hermanos, ¿me entiendes? Tú y yo somos hermanos, cabrón. Anyway, so we get back to the news here, and it says, Joseph Johnson, a business owner and longtime friend. That's just how it works. Don't worry. I pulled up the Facebook clip already. 9 days in federal court. Stapleton used her dual positions in the legislature and the school district funding to Johnson's robotics learning software company, receiving about 38%, roughly $1.15 million of those payouts back via secret and blank checks. Convicted on all 37 charges. Commies, I know you. A mile away, I recognize you. I can smell you a mile away. That's right. You guys can't hide. You can call the United States of America 700 times a terrorist. Well, fuck you very much. Apparently, this is not your country. So go on the fuck to the country where you think they're not terrorists. You hate America so much you dare to insult your own family and call your own family a terrorist? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's something I don't do. Have some respect. Don't be a fucking moron like the vet for democracy here. This guy is so retarded. He was hit on the head too many times. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. So I forgive him for his stupidity. But DSA has no excuse, and you communists will not prevail. Now, what the hell is this celebrating the midterms? You guys are kicking your own ass on the midterms. I don't know what the fuck these people are celebrating the midterms right now. Let's see, what else, man? You have something else in here. I missed it, Cutting. Oh, no. Okay, that was just a double. Okay, gotcha. Well. Here, I got the Facebook clip. Mr. Zach Rail. Breaking former New Mexico Democrat. What I just read to you. Check this out. Stapleton was facing 37 federal counts, including fraud, bribery, and money laundering. She faces up to 524 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Man, I don't know where the hell they are going to be freezing this lady, but that is crazy. Zoo Boy, that's getting old. Knee pads, come on. That's getting old. Come up with something new. Come up with something new, you losers. Yeah. It sounds like she belongs at a Sika jail. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy. You might think that after 524 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release will be a cake. Well said, April Davis on Facebook. I'm telling you, man, these people hang themselves, bro. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's just too easy. You can't make this shit up. Listen, all we have to do is put up with all the insults from the left and just wait. Give it some time. They're going to fuck themselves up, as they have proven in Minnesota, in Dearborn, Michigan, in New York, in California, here in Seattle, Washington, in Oregon. Oh, my goodness. You know what's sad is that a lot of people are going to suffer because of their stupidity. I want to reach out to some of the young people out there, and I want to let you know this. You do have a choice. I want you to know that. You don't have to be a bum. You don't have to beg on the side of the freeway. You don't have to be a drug addict. You can choose to take responsibility for yourself. Let me tell you a quick story. I was emancipated at the age of 16 years old. I made my mistakes. I'm going to tell you what, I was always holding myself accountable for that. I put myself to 2 years through high school. Nobody's help. No parents, no brother, no sister. Nobody. My teachers were my second parents. Such a blessing for me. Back in the 90s, early 90s, we still had teachers who cared for their students, who didn't put any LGBTQ agenda, any sexual dysphoria, no mental deprivation thoughts being inflicted or being indulged in our school. We were still saying no to drugs, no to violence, no to racism. I was blessed to have a teacher that guided me and gave me great advice. Coaches that were also my second parents. hugging me when I needed a hug, give me strength when I needed strength, were tough on me, yet loving and caring enough to encourage me to do something, make something of myself. By the time I was 18 years old, I had my own apartment. By the time I was 18 years old, had a full-time job. Ended up working double shifts, 2 jobs. But you know what? I was proud of the first car that I bought on my own. I was proud of my first paycheck. It felt good. You know, I remember the first feeling when I got my apartment. There was not much stuff in it. It was just an empty apartment. I had this big console, big old color TV, a mattress on the floor. That was it. Small little table. I bought a bunch of eggs and some mac and cheese. A lot of top ramen. Pot pies. Hot Pockets. All that good stuff. And I remember when I got paid and I got to pay the PUD. That's the electricity bill here. I paid the PUD bill. Damn. I paid the phone bill. Damn. You know what I'm saying? I put gas in the car, got the oil change. I paid my bills, and I didn't have much. But I was so proud of myself. I was accomplishing something fantastic that at that time didn't really appreciate. I enjoyed it. I loved the responsibility. I loved that I was able to take care of myself. I loved that I had a few bucks in my pocket and I can go and eat whatever the hell I want on paydays. I was very happy. I wish I was wiser. I wish I would know then what I know today. I can tell you, big difference of my life would have been. But again, we live our life. Our purpose is to live the life that we are dealt. Our purpose is to love the body in which we are born into. Whether you think that you're a woman trapped in a man's body, that is irrelevant. You need to appreciate who you are and be the best of who you are. You understand? None of this bullshit that if you think you're a woman, you're a woman. No. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. If you have a penis, you're a man. You cannot switch those two around. I don't care what surgeries you do. Cosmetic surgery is just cosmetic. It's literally what it is. Cosmetic. And that is the difference between us and the libtards. Now, I don't care what you choose to do. You don't get to force me to accept it. Tell me, if I don't force you to accept what I believe, what gives you the right to force me to accept what you believe? See, the sword cuts both ways. Now, I'll tell you, if I was governor, I'll take care of the people. But you're not going to get free handouts. That's not how it works. If you don't work, you don't eat. You got to be able to work. You got to do something for you. I'll help you, but you got to help yourself. I can't go save you from drowning if you're just going to drown me. Then what is the benefit for me if you drown and I drown? Doesn't make sense. Why would I help you? You see what I'm saying? Well, I hope you guys understand that metaphor. All right, here we go. Shoplifters. This is what happens when corruption goes unchecked. When you have DSA, Democrat Socialists of America, when you have this big tent in the Democratic Party, and let's be honest, And let me be very, very clear. These communist socialists, they're only using the word Democrat because Democratic Party used to stand for something. They have destroyed it. The Democratic Party does not stand for Americans anymore. So let me be clear. All sorts of corruption are using the Democratic Party's name to advance their corruption. Am I clear? I hope that's clear enough. Now here's Mornings with Maria, and she has a little update for us. Let's take a listen at this.
The Democratic Socialists of America facing their final primary test today. This time it's in Florida.
All right. I'll be honest. I didn't know that this was going to be about the DSA. But there you go. There you go. Go ahead and tell us.
Florida, the DSA endorsing Oliver Larkin, who's facing off against incumbent Democrat Jared Moskowitz. This is the 25th district. Now, should Larkin win, it could grow what some are calling the House of Representatives Socialist Squad. Democratic Socialists drawing plenty of attention across the country, especially here in New York. New York State Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher sparking backlash for suggesting that shoplifting should essentially be decriminalized, and stealing for biological needs is just fine. Now, many on Capitol Hill are questioning exactly what direction the Democrats are headed. I want to bring in New York Congressman Mike Lawler. Congressman, I want to get your thoughts on this. It's great to talk to you because, look, for an example, here in New York City, we've lost 50% of our drugstores. There's not a Rite Aid left in New York City because of the rampant theft and stealing. Now you've got this woman saying that it should be okay and that we shouldn't prosecute it all. Your thoughts?
Well, it's really quite jarring. I mean, the CVS in Times Square, I believe, loses up to about 70% of its product due to theft. This is a fundamental problem. I served with Emily. She's a lunatic. When I was in the state assembly, she was pushing all of this nonsense. The fact is, you look at my constituent, Sheridan Gorman, 18-year-old young girl. She was killed by somebody who committed shoplifting and then was released back out onto the streets in Chicago. This idea that it should be decriminalized is absurd. And the other thing, the video package showed, armed robbers going into these stores. Democrats often talk about gun violence. Why is it that they don't actually want to prosecute criminals who use guns in the commission of a crime? They simply want to go after law-abiding gun owners and prevent them from exercising their Second Amendment. Criminals, however, they want to release them back out on the streets only to reoffend. This is a fundamental problem with the lunacy that they push. This DSA movement is not going to be welcomed by the vast majority of Americans. If they win tonight in Florida in that 25th congressional seat, that will almost guarantee Republicans will win that seat in November. So, we'll see what happens. But this is going to be met with big backlash and resistance by most Americans this November. My opponent, Kate Conley, she'll say she's a moderate, yet she supports Medicare for all. She supports Kathy Hochul's sanctuary state policies that release criminals back out onto the streets and prohibit law enforcement from cooperating with them. She supports open borders. She wants to raise taxes by $4 trillion on Americans. That's not moderate. That's insane.
And they come up with all of these slogans that they're using on the campaign trail, but it seems to be working. Like you said, they'll say we're going to abolish ICE, rent stabilization, Medicare for all, et cetera. But then you get this new CBS News poll that finds that socialism is seen in a very positive or somewhat positive light by 58% of Democratic respondents. 50% say they see capitalism in a negative or somewhat negative light. And then you've got another poll finding voters think Democrats are better at handling the economy than Republicans, Congressman. I mean, how do Republicans fight back and message out the work that has been done over the last year and a half, whether it was from the Big Beautiful Bill Act that was passed last year, the boost in tax returns that we saw in the second quarter for Americans, all of that, how do we get that to the forefront for the party, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, what it says is that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are not the leaders of the Democratic Party. They have no message. They have no plan. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Zohran Mamdani, and their radical band of nitwits have seized control of the Democratic Party, the message, and the policy agenda. I mean, think back to 2016. The things that Bernie Sanders was running on is now the mainstream view within the Democratic Party. So that speaks volumes to where the Democratic Party is today. But the vast majority of Americans are not there. I think when it comes to what we've actually been able to do, we delivered the largest tax cut in American history. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and lifting the cap on SALT, the state and local tax deduction. These don't benefit billionaires and millionaires. They benefit working class and middle class families, which is why 97% of Americans saw a tax cut this past April. So the fact is, we have delivered the largest tax cut in American history. We secured the border and stopped the massive influx of illegal immigration. 14 straight months of net zero illegal entry into this country. Yes, gas prices need to come down. That's why we need to increase domestic production of energy. We need permitting reform to increase these large-scale energy projects. We want utility rates to come down. Utility rates in New York, Cheryl, are up 58% since Kathy Hochul shut down Indian Point, which is why I'm calling for Indian Point to be rebuilt and reopened. 2.4 gigawatts of power to the region. That is critically important if you want to bring down cost. We just passed the single largest housing package in 36 years. That was a Republican Congress that did it, to increase supply. Madison just talked about the fundamental problem with rent. It is supply and demand. That is basic economics. Socialism will not create more supply. All it's going to do is create more vacant units, because by freezing the rent, while it sounds lovely, these landowners are not able to upgrade the apartments. They have to continue to pay their tax burden. So what are they going to do? They're going to write off the apartment by leaving it vacant. We already have over 50,000 vacant units in New York City because of that disastrous rent control law from 2019.
And I'm glad you brought up that nuclear power plant that you're saying, because and you pointed out how much we're paying in electricity here in New York State, because it's happening in many states. And nuclear power is something that the president and in particular Interior Secretary Burgum have really pushed for. Let's make sure that we have enough energy to power these data centers that are coming. I mean, your election, your re-election bid is one of the most closely watched races in the cycle right now. Not just because you want to, obviously you want to reopen Indian Point, but also the data centers have become a big focus in the state of New York. You know, you had Kathy Hochul go out and say that she's going to put a moratorium, a ban on these data centers, but that hurts the overall economy of New York State in the face of the high electricity prices that we're already paying, which she used as her crux. What are you hearing when you go out and you talk to your constituents about the energy story and then that data center pushback that we've been hearing about?
Well, there's a few issues here, right? Number one, New York has shut down nuclear power, banned natural gas, blocked pipelines. They required all electrification of the grid, all electric construction. It has created a mess. That's why utility rates are up 58% in 6 years. That has nothing to do with Washington and everything to do with Albany and New York City, which is entirely run by Democrats. So when you look at the situation and Kathy Hochul implements a statewide moratorium, what she is saying is, don't come here. Go do your business elsewhere, which is why New York State leads the nation in outmigration. It's why it is a terrible place to do business, and why people are expanding in Florida and Texas and Tennessee and North Carolina and South Carolina and elsewhere. We have the highest tax burden and the worst business climate. If you want to address these problems, you need to have a coherent economic and energy policy, and that is fundamental if New York is going to prosper moving forward.
A key piece of your messaging as you are out on the campaign trail. We obviously are watching your race come November, and many of these primaries today happening. Congressman Mike Lawler. So
do people on the left really want to hear the truth, or you guys are just trying to argue just to argue? Let me show you a clip here from Joe Rogan. I'm sure you guys may have seen this already. And I know that a lot of people, they think that we're just make things up and that we're just being hateful. But you know what? You gotta learn to judge for yourself. Now, with all these frauds and all these crimes being committed by Democrat socialists, it just happens to be Democrat socialists of America, I think it really is more of a distraction. You see, they use the DSA, this far left Democrats who have destroyed the Democratic Party. They use the DSA. They pick the shittiest, the garbage, the most dumbest people, the most retarded, outrageous opinions, etc., etc., so that the far left Democrats like AOC and all these other losers on the left, so that they look better. So they hire all these goons to come in here, bunch of clowns for a circus, so to speak, and they let them loose. They want to abolish the Constitution. They want to abolish the Senate. They want to abolish Congress. They want to abolish ICE. They want to abolish the police. And they claim that they're going to give you all this free stuff, which is not free. But they're going to give you all this free stuff and make it safer for everybody else. And of course, we're not going to have a president. We're just going to have a leader that we are going to appoint. Communist. These people can't hide. They can't hide. Now, we know that there is still a lot of us who are old enough to know, who learn history, who know that socialism is just a farce. It's just a face to hide communism and Marxism. That's it. That's all socialism is used for. They will never say, I'm a communist Democrat, because nobody will vote for them. We know this. It sounds better to say socialist Democrat. Mandani is doing a good job at destroying New York. Well, he ran his campaign talking about the bodega. We want the bodegas to be successful. Bullshit. Now he's using the taxpayers' dollars to destroy the bodegas and to allow for government rent stores to thrive at a 30% discount. 30% less than any bodega selling a product. What do you think that's going to do for the bodegas? Do you think that's going to encourage people to support the bodegas in New York? You are retarded if you don't see what's happening. I am so sorry. I'm sorry that you're retarded, but I'm not sorry for saying it. You know what I mean? You got to wake up. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that you are not retarded. Now, if you're literally handicapped, retarded, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes I'm retarded in some of the things that I do. It is what it is. But to be a libtard, to think that you're fighting for the freedoms of this country, you're just signing up for the destruction of yourself. Just saying. I hear a lot of Democrats, woo! Great job, Zoran. We love you. Fantastic job. Really? Chasing away the rich people, which you are trying to milk money out of? Right. Let me tell you, genius, when you are giving all these incentives for everybody and their mama to come to your state, to your city, because you allow sanctuary, because you allow them to get benefits, do you think that's telling the world, don't come here? No. The opposite. It's saying, come here. We're fucking stupid. We'll give you money. We'll take care of you. Come here. Give us your poor and your burden and you're tired. Give it to us. I say we destroy the Statue of Liberty and send it back to fucking France. Obviously not literally. Calm down. Calm down. Not literally. Not serious. Not serious. Most of the people on DSA, their brains are shit, Erica. Be nice. Be nice. All right, let me go ahead and play this clip here just to kind of remind you what these foreigners, what the people, our enemies, do when they come into this country unchecked, and why I am always serious about immigration. Now, this is an old clip that I talked about before, this mayor, but I want you to hear it for yourself. Now, the mayor is going to be talking about an elder Christian American man. Watch this. Here we go, Rogan.
Right before the show. Is it about Dearborn?
Dearborn, Michigan. Outrage over comments at a city council meeting in Dearborn, Michigan.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe.
Where a bunch of really progressive people thought it's amazing. Bring everyone in. Everyone's welcome. They got enough Muslim people in there where they could vote in a mayor. This guy says no more pride flag.
The Muslim mayor telling a Christian minister he was, quote, not welcome.
And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you're not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
They're inching towards what they would like, which is Sharia law. We were talking right before the show. Is it about Dearborn?
Dearborn, Michigan. Outrage over comments at a city council meeting in Dearborn, Michigan.
You are a bigot, and you are a racist, and you are an Islamophobe.
Where a bunch of really progressive people thought
Political correctness will get you nowhere. I say fuck these people. Let me tell you something. If you decide that you want to be a Muslim, I want you to rethink yourself. I want you to rethink why. Why did you pick a Muslim for a religion? Seriously. Did you research anything else? Did you research Christianity? Did you understand it? Do you know what it is? Why did you choose to be a Muslim? Islam is just a political movement. It's not a true religion. The Quran has been proven to be false over and over and over. It contradicts itself. The Quran allows a holy prophet to sleep with a minor, to sleep with a 9-year-old. And the Quran allows for Muslims, for criminals, to go and rape other women that are not Muslims. What made you choose to be a Muslim? I want you to ask yourself that question. No, the Bible hasn't. Don't lie to me. No, it doesn't. Don't lie to me. You want to prove it? Prove it to me. I will tear you apart, son. I don't think you know who you're fucking talking to. Let me tell you something. We condemn sexual immorality. The Bible condemns, you understand? The Bible condemns sexual perversion. Now, here's the difference. Christians, they can believe what they want to believe. But the Christians don't make the law of this country. You see, everything that is in Christianity is to save your soul. And it's got great recipes for you to be happy, to be successful, to be righteous. Muslims don't. Muslims, they believe that they are the law of the world. They don't care about the United States of America. Christians love the United States of America. They don't give a shit about protecting your children. Christians do protect the innocence of children. Muslims allow you to commit all these abortions and stuff, but not to their Muslim people, only for you dumbass Christians and non-believers. We believe that we're supposed to take care of our children and raise them to be good Christian men and women. There's a big difference between the two religions. So again, I ask you, why did you choose to be a Muslim? If you don't want me to sound hateful, I want you to tell me. Put it in the chat. If you're a Muslim, put it in the chat. Why did you choose to be a Muslim? Honest question. Honest question. Why did you choose to be a Muslim? What made you think, okay, I read into it. I read the whole Quran. The Quran says this. The Quran says that. Okay, why did you choose to be a Muslim? Did you only look at the part that says if you make this oath, you are going to be one of the holy men? When you die, you're going to get 92 virgins. Is that why? The Bible doesn't condone slavery. It condones servitude. And it talks about treating your servants well. The Bible it has history of over thousands of years. Slavery was the norm back then. This is something that we don't practice today. See, the word servant was changed to slaves. Some point in our history, you can have servants. There's nothing wrong with it. The Bible tells you to treat them well. It tells you to pay a fair wage. Muslims don't tell you that. Muslim says, kill the infidels where they stand. Kill the infidels, the non-believers. Does the Bible tell you, Christians, kill the non-believers where they stand? No. Love your neighbor. It doesn't say kill. It doesn't say go rape. It doesn't say go and sleep with, marry a 7-year-old child. So I ask you again, why would you choose to be a Muslim knowing this truth? Muslims tell you you cannot question the prophet. Yet we Christians tell you, question Jesus. Question the prophets. Question the message. Do your research. Muslims tell you you can't say anything about the pedophile prophet that they worship. You see what I'm saying? So why choose that religion? Yeah, absolutely, 100%, Erica. It is unbelievable. And I just, for them to say that I'm hateful because I'm sharing this information with you, that's really pathetic. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at Swalwell's. It's just trying to change gears because these people will never learn. It doesn't matter how loving I say it. It doesn't matter how soft I say it. They're just not going to believe it. They believe what they want to believe. Again, you know the truth about Islam and you continue to support them, that is on you, 100%. Never say that nobody told you about Jesus Christ. You are choosing to follow a perverted, destructive, hateful religion. Islam is not a peaceful religion. Let me just tell you right now. They might have a lot of innocent or gullible, naive, peaceful people that believe Islam isn't, but that's because they're lazy and they're ignorant. They don't read the word. You got to go read the word so that you can grab knowledge. You got to become wiser by understanding the word. And if you don't know the word, you are just a fool who falls to the left. Oh, well, Swalwell and their Chinese spy. Let's take a listen and see what Fox has to say about this. My favorite news stations.
Newly declassified FBI documents revealing that disgraced former Democrat Congressman Eric Swalwell admitted to having sexual relations with the suspected Chinese spy who is known as Fang Fang.
Todd Pyro joins us now with the details. Todd.
Good morning to all three of you. Here is what we know. Swalwell admitted to FBI agents that he had, quote, physical relations with suspected Chinese intel operative Christine Fang on a, quote, handful of occasions. The FBI report saying, quote, Swalwell had a drink with Fang a couple of weeks after they first met in 2012. He had physical relations with Fang on a handful of occasions, but never dated her or had a romantic relationship. Swalwell considered their physical relations to be casual, but believed that Fang was interested in a closer romantic relationship. The newly declassified records, which were released yesterday, detail 2 FBI interviews with Swalwell, which were conducted in 2015 and 2016. They were part of an investigation examining Fang's alleged involvement with illicit campaign contributions and funneling interns to Swalwell's office. He told investigators that their last encounter was in 2015, which is 2 years after the former lawmaker joined Congress. Fang is believed to be an operative for the Chinese Communist Party's Ministry of State Security and reportedly helped organize fundraisers for Swalwell in Las Vegas and in California. The FBI claims she used conduits to conceal herself as a prohibited foreign national source and orchestrated contributions to Swalwell's campaigns. Swalwell was removed as a subject in the Bureau's investigation in 2017. Fox News Digital reached out to Swalwell and his attorneys for comment, but did not receive a response. All of this unfolding months after Swalwell resigned from Congress and dropped his run for California governor after unrelated allegations of rape and sexual assault emerged. Back over to you.
Wow, we knew there was more to that story. How unbelievable is it the FBI says, hey, I've identified this person would be a great person to see if I could flip them and be a double agent. And, you know, they're from China. We think they had relations with the Chinese Ministry of State Security. And the FBI said, let's target her. She works for Swalwell, the congressman. And then it turns out when they start looking into her background, that's when they discover that they're having a physical relationship.
So the question is, what information did he give her? I want to know. I mean, she wasn't there for romance. She had a job to do for a foreign government.
Yeah, and he would joke around and say, oh, she works for the Chinese government, and people thought he was joking. 2 years later, he tells the FBI he is sleeping with her when they try to recruit her as a double agent. What's raising eyebrows in the FBI and around the country is his position. He was serving on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, and he's allegedly or admitting to sleeping with a spy?
Yeah. There's no way he should have been on that intelligence committee.
But then remember when he denied it, when he was asked on another network? Watch this.
Did you have any concerns about this person before you had what's known as a defensive briefing from the FBI to make you aware of this threat?
No, Jim, I was shocked when, just over 6 years ago, I was told about this individual. And then I offered to help, because the story says that, there was never a suspicion of wrongdoing on my part.
Yeah, he just straight up lied. And I wonder what his pal Gallego, the senator who was hanging around with, that is from Arizona, has to say about this. Yeah. Seems like he's been involved with some scandals as well. So they were buddies. Did he know about Fang Fang, and what did he know?
Birds of a feather.
Yeah. Kevin McCarthy kicked him off the all committees, his committee, the Intelligence Committee, when it was reported in Axios about this relationship. He said, of course, you're out. You're done. And they said, oh, it's pure politics. No, it wasn't pure politics. Yeah. So now, evidently, as he was running for governor, the FBI says, we really should make this public to find out what kind of person you are and the kind of contacts you have. So Fang Fang has been kicked out of the country, can't come back. And that she had set up straw supporters, I guess, contributors to his campaign. So, for example, you have foreigners contribute to his campaign, but she would just attribute it to somebody else in America. Yeah. So you had foreigners contributing to Eric Swalwell's hope for governor, and who knows who would have been contributing to his run for governor.
Now, this is one of the main people talking about Russian collusion.
Right.
Literally sleeping with a Chinese spy. This is crazy stuff, these people. It's like the gall. Is there no shame? They go on TV, they give these big speeches. He was an impeachment manager against the president, and meanwhile, he's doing this dirty business.
Yeah, he says, well, I didn't really remember it in the beginning because I was on Ambien.
Yeah, he said there was an Ambien-induced night when they slept together.
Yep, that's one way to say it. I was going to say physical relationship.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, why are you guys sitting here doing insults, criticizing my Mayan earlobes? These used to represent royalty in our Mayan culture. I don't understand, though, why you're sitting there criticizing me instead of acknowledging the video and then saying, oh, you have no proof. This is why you guys never lear. You guys never pay attention, so you never lear. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy's, I don't know if there's any helping these libtards. I'm going to tell you something. And one of the things that I have noticed is that they like to make us look like criminals, don't they? Yeah. They tell you your Second Amendment right needs to be removed because gun violence. Wait a second. Salud, my friends. Thank you for being here on the Dennis Herrera Show. Stay thirsty. The logic, for some, I don't know what the hell's going on, but the logic of the leftists is punish the law-abiding citizens and reward the criminals. 23 counts, convicted felons, 25, 27, 13, 17, for Pete's sakes. And these people go out there and kill innocent people, rape innocent women. And they just continue to go crime galore. I don't know. I don't even know what the word is to explain. They seem to punish law-abiding citizens, but they reward the criminals. Like over there in New York, right? In Michigan. In all these blue states. It seems to happen. It seems to happen always in all states. You notice the difference of what I showed you? I gave you a 37-count felony. Right here. 37-count felony. Former Democrat Cheryl Williams Stapleton. 37 counts. She is going to jail for life. President Trump was falsely charged. Out of one charge, some discrepancies with the appraisal of property on real estate. You gotta be fucking kidding me. To be able to grab 34 counts, bro? He was acquitted. Do you know what that is? Go look that up. Acquitted of everything. Of everything. The criminal, 37 counts, convicted to jail for life. That I will accept. If President Trump, while he wasn't president, would have been to jail and stayed in jail and convicted on every single felony count, congratulations. I agree with you, and he wouldn't be president. But he's president, isn't he? And he was acquitted. So shut the hell up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. With that being said, what I was saying about criminals, they punish us. Carlos, get your head out of your ass. Put President Trump aside for a little bit. I know you live, Trump lives in your brain 24/7, rent-free. I get it. Forget about Trump. We're talking about us, ourselves, not Trump, ourselves. Who gives a fuck about Trump? Argue with me without mentioning Trump. And then I know you're serious. You're a bunch of pussies. That's it. I think it's time to start bringing up the question and what I want to know.
I got a question because I really need to know. Do you ever get tired?
How lip-tarts?
Of being a bitch-ass nigga. A hoe-ass nigga. A hoe-ass nigga. A pussy-ass nigga.
Do you get tired? I just want to know. Do you ever get tired? It's a serious question, to be honest. Why?
You's a lame-ass nigga. A weak-ass nigga.
Why? Why are you?
You's a lame-ass nigga. A weak-ass nigga.
Man, whoever's playing that, man, that's fantastic. Thank you for the special effects there. I want you to know that I care about the American citizens.
Acknowledge me!
Just saying. You got to acknowledge me. 34 count felon. Woo! Let's go. That's my fantastic president right there. Man, you people, I swear, you guys are my age or older. Man, you people really got to think about it, man.
When are you gonna grow up and act your big old age? You's a lame-ass nigga. A weak-ass nigga.
Oh, man, that's crazy. All right, stay on point. Stay on subject. Stay on subject. Stay with me here. Stay with me. Forget about Trump. We're talking about ourselves, right? We're talking about ourselves. Now, I'm a big First and Second Amendment right guy. I think those are very important. Very important. I know when to use them and when not to use them. I've had a gun for many years. You know how many people that gun has killed? 0. Thank God. 0. Many targets have been destroyed, though. Thousands of bullets have been shot. But no human life was lost. Yeah, I'm about to get me a new one. I'm about to get me a Glock. I saw this Glock 44, I think it was. I can't remember. I don't know about the name of guns, guys. I'm not that kind of into the gun thing. You know what I'm saying? I believe in the Second Amendment, but I'm not a gun guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get into the names and the, this and that. No. I just look for the size. So you got to know, I don't have little hands, despite what you may have heard from the leftists. I don't have little hands. And even though I love my little gun, sometimes it's too small. I need something with a little bigger grip. That's what I'm going with. Okay? And, just letting you know, 50-pound dumbbells, easy peasy. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. 50 pounds. I'm just saying, yes, I am fat, but I'm just saying I'm a strong fat man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fat man. Hey, yes, I am crazy as well. But again, going back to my point, forget about Trump, forget about Biden, forget about any presidents. What I want to touch up on is law-abiding citizens versus criminals. Law-abiding citizens love their guns. And if we step out of line and commit crimes with it, we should be punished. That is why we put people in office. This is why we have law enforcement. They're not there to work for you specifically. They are there to serve the community, the people. Meaning they're going to make sure I don't step out of line. They're going to make sure you don't step out of line. That doesn't mean you get to go up to the police officer and say, fuck you, bitch. You work for me. I pay taxes. You work for me. Shut the hell up. They don't work for you. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Man, people that do that shit piss me off. Because they don't understand what they're talking about. They really believe that the police is there to work for them individually. That's not how it works, sucker. They're here to protect and serve everybody. You step out of line, you should get your ass kicked. I'm just saying. Back to my point. So they go crazy on us because we're law-abiding. I don't know what the hell the problem is with being law-abiding citizens. It should be a great thing to be. For some reason, for these libtards, it seems to be the opposite. They want to punish the law-abiding and they want to reward the criminals. Here, let me give you an example. So you already saw that if they want to take your guns away, but they don't want to punish the criminals that use guns to commit crime. They want to let them go free on the street. Listen to this story from Brandy Cruz from Undivided. I've been following them a little bit. This lady has an organization, works for an organization that helps clean up, right? After the drug addicts, the homeless, encampments, and this and that. Listen how sad this is. Now, this is a blue state. So there you go. I want you to listen how sad, and it should piss you off. Listen to this news real quick. Let me try to get this out.
I've never seen anything like this. There is a full-on conspiracy among Democrats in the state of Washington to take down literally anyone and any entity that is having any success, making any inroads in chipping away at the utter nonsense of one-party rule in Washington. So you, of course, know our friends at We Heart Seattle. We Heart Seattle is a volunteer citizen organization, a nonprofit that goes out there and does what the government has failed to do in Seattle. They clean up needles, they clean up trash, they clean up parks, they clean up homeless encampments. They put their lives on the line to go out there with Andrea Suarez, the founder and president of We Heart Seattle, and to try to beautify our city that has become grotesque because of failed policies. They literally go out there and pick up, at great peril to themselves, needles that have been used to inject fentanyl, foil that's been used to cook drugs, much of it handed out by government entities who bought it with your money. And Andrea has been very outspoken about the so-called harm reduction. Oh, let's give people the stuff they need to do the drugs that will eventually kill them. And what does Andrea Suarez get for those efforts? An investigation by the state of Washington. The Department of Labor and Industries notifying Andrea Suarez via the Division of Occupational Safety and Health that they are investigating her for improper handling. How do I even say this with a straight face? Improper handling and collection of hypodermic needles and fentanyl paraphernalia. I am speechless. Do we understand how evil and stupid this is? If Andrea wasn't out there, if volunteers with We Heart Seattle weren't out there picking up those needles, clearing those parks, picking up that foil, you know what would happen to it? The kids would pick up the needles at the parks. The dogs would step on the needles. You would step on the needles and infect yourself with God only knows what, because the city isn't cleaning them up. The city isn't doing this work. So because Andrea Suarez and her group of volunteers decides to go out there, and very safely, might I add, because I've done cleanups with them before, dispose of the drug needles that the government is handing out, the government is investigating them for not quite doing it right. That's the allegation, at least. And this isn't about cleaning up the needles. This is about Andrea Suarez has dared to speak out. She's dared to speak out about the failure of Housing First. She's dared to speak out about the horrible drug policies. She has dared to speak out about harm reduction and handing needles and foil and boofing kits to drug addicts. And so she's being punished. This is a punishment. So she has to hire an attorney. She has to spend money. She has to spend time fighting a complaint from L&I that could result in a fine because she decided to go pick up the used needles before they killed someone and hurt a kid, killed your dog. That's what we're using our government bureaucracy for, is to go after someone who's actually making a difference. It is one of, look, I'm going to talk about the lawfare attacks on me in a moment. Those are almost more understandable than this. You know, I get it. I'm a talking head. I'm a thorn in their side. But I mean, Andrea Suarez, what is her crime? Loving her city, picking up trash, picking up needles. And again, might I remind you that, again, it says improper handling of collection of hypodermic needles and fentanyl paraphernalia. What is that fentanyl paraphernalia, the drug paraphernalia? They're complaining she's not picking up correctly. Well, it's the very things that King County and state government and the city of Seattle hand out in their quote-unquote harm reduction kits. The pipes, the burners, the aluminum foil that they also, by the way, include handy little directions on how to make sure that you fold your aluminum foil correctly so you can do your drugs correctly. Now look, if there was some sort of legitimate case here, like, oh, Andrea's got a bunch of employees and she's forcing them to just pick up these needles with their bare hands and it's dangerous. Like, look, yeah, there's got to be safety involved, which there is. We'll get to that momentarily. But as Andrea pointed out on X, she took pictures of a BioClean company that is contracted officially with the city of Seattle to clean up these needles? Here's pictures of the lady doing it with her bare hands. So, is there a complaint against that contractor, BioClean Inc.? No, there's just a complaint against Andrea Suarez of We Heart Seattle, who, as you watch the video we just showed you, they're out there with gloves, with personal protective equipment. They're doing it with pinchers that separate their hand about 5 feet from the needles. And the lady who's contracted with the city, she's got her old lady with her bare old hand. But it's Andrea who's facing the investigation from the Department of Labor and Industries? If you think that this is anything except lawfare to make her life miserable, I don't know why you're watching this show. Because clearly nothing is going to get through to you. Yeah. Of course, we asked Andrea Suarez to come on the show with us today to respond to this utter nonsense. Andrea, I don't know if anything's ever made me as mad as this.
Now, before she gets into that, let me just tell you, this lady right here on my left, she has worked with Chow. Now, Chow is also a friend of Brandy's, right here on the right. And she has been exposing all these homeless and these drug addicts and even some sort of a minor, maybe. She didn't give the age. She looked like a minor, maybe. Maybe she's not. Like a teen, 17, maybe 18, 19, something like that. And, you know, that she is exposing them for being into drugs, and men just have it their way, you know, with this young girl. and you know, she goes around and she tries to feed people. She tries to give them water. She helps clean up, and she has been exposing everything that the socialist Democrats have been trying to hide from the public eye. And so they have gone as far as to ban Brandy Cruz from being a journalist, from being in meetings and being able to ask journalist questions. Now, Brandy Cruz, she was years a journalist for a local news outlet here, you know, in Fox. And, you know, now she has her own show, and, you know, she's growing quite well. But they are punishing the people that are telling the truth, showing the truth of what is actually happening in our city. So with that being said, I just want to let you know, this lady right here has helped a lot with the homeless problems and with the drug issues that we have here in Seattle, Washington.
How'd you find out about this?
There was an email from the state, and it's kind of scary at first, Brandy. I mean, I'm a one-employee organization. We make a nickel scream. We're out there picking needles. I don't have resources to create this long list of documents that they wanted. So, yeah, at first, you know, you get scared when you see something like that. You think, you know, what am I doing wrong? And stresses us out. It stresses out our two other guys that are payrolled through our second chance employer, Uplift Northwest, who is also under investigation as well.
Wow. So do you know who made the complaint?
No, at this point, it's confidential to me, so I don't know if it's public records available for it or not. Mm-hmm. I know there's some folks that are inquiring about that, but I asked around. I'm like, man, did somebody get upset at a litter pick? Like, what's going on? We don't have any record of anybody like getting poked or something like that. Knock on wood. I mean, we, of course, first and foremost, have a safety plan. We do a safety orientation. We have people sign waivers. We have gloves, pinchers, vests. In fact, Brandy, we picked up so many needles in prior years before fentanyl came into fold that they ran out of those red sharp container boxes at the needle exchange. Yeah. That's how rampant this issue was. And so we were putting them in whatever bucket we could find in good faith. We're just trying to get them out of the playgrounds, right?
Well, if you didn't do that, then yeah, kids would get jabbed with them, dogs would get jabbed with them, innocent people would get jabbed with them. So is that seem to be the complaint, that you weren't putting them in sharps containers because there were so many you needed 5-gallon buckets?
There was it was very vague. Improper handling of hypodermic needles and fentanyl paraphernalia, which of course is handed out by the county in vans in our parks. They literally come into our parks and hand out packages of this paraphernalia that we are picking up properly.
Yep.
So they're not going to do anything about the people who are using it and distributing it, but the people who go out there and pick it up out of our parks and off our sidewalks, that's who they're going to go after.
I mean, they could have looked at this tip, this referral, and went, I mean, even the lady who we're working with, the claim adjuster or whatever, she said, this is a strange case. And I'm like, and that's why you would then go, there's nothing there, and not waste your time, which she said will now take a couple months to review everything and work with our provider that sends us temporary staffers. And, they're having, this is the Millionaires Club. This is the former Millionaires Club, Uplift Northwest, ran by Gina Hall. She's a Rotarian of the Year, beloved civic servant as well. And she has to stop her operation as well to produce 30 plus documents, signed waivers, bloodborne pathogen documents, which we have actually. We actually have hazmat training certifications, but the length and time to do so is very hypocritical. I mean, what if you take your child to the merry-go-round and what's that person's training to remove the needle? Did they get their Hep C shot and their certificate to be around all these needles and all these foils that we've been screaming from the mountain are all over our city now for years and years and years, and it's only getting worse with fentanyl? And again, we, the city, the state, the county, are handing these things out in public places. So I'm going to use this tool, obviously, to raise some money, but also to get policy change to finally get, as San Francisco's doing, outlawing the distribution of foil and needles tent side and in parks. I mean, that for me is how I'm going to leverage this absolute egregious investigation.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm dealing with some lawfare by the party in power right now. Do you feel like that's what this is, that this is targeted because you've been very vocal, especially as of late, about the harm reduction stuff?
I've been very vocal about it. Yeah. I think this is an attempt to slow me down, cost me money, affect my donor base. That's why we're asking for money at this time as a good time to give to We Heart Seattle to prove a point. That we're strong, we're doing good work, and no one's going to take us down. But it is something we're having to contend with rather than doing the real work of being out there saving lives and picking up needles.
Yeah, I mean, there's no coincidences in stuff like this. I'm sure some activists have set you up for this. And the process is the punishment. But I'll tell you, when the lawfare first started against me in the spring, we had our single best month on Undivided of people coming forward and supporting our show. And so I think that We Heart Seattle is about to have the single best fundraising month it's ever had. How can people donate if they choose to do so?
Yeah, we've already raised several $1,000s in less than 24 hours. Hundreds of new donors, most importantly. If you've never given even $5, $50, or $50,000, get yourself on the list at weheartseattle.org. That's .org. And you can donate stock. You may never cash out in your lifetime. Donor advised funds, checks, credit cards on our Bloomerang app. It's all there. Give us a call as well. We are putting the money back in the ground to gloves, boots, vests, basic needs for people going into treatment, case management that focus on people who use drugs. And currently this, crusade really to debunk and get the LEAD program to be redesigned. I mean, this might be one of our biggest accomplishments yet, is to finally get this failed program exposed and get people back to programs that are accountable, like parole officer check-ins. Totally different story. Didn't mean to throw it in here, but we're doing some incredible policy work. We got tenting banned in Tukwila by going down and testifying. We're, of course, in contact with the Housing Urban Development at the federal level and working with Cicero, Manhattan, Discovery Institute, Project 42, Washington Policy Center. We are at those tables helping move the needle properly.
Move the needle properly. I just can't believe this is happening. I mean, I can. Nicole was laughing at me earlier. She's like, why are you acting surprised by this? And I don't know if it's surprise. It's more so anger, because I know what it's like to be targeted by these people with lawfare. I'll talk more about that in the next segment. But, Andrea Suarez going out there and doing, honestly, disgusting work nobody wants to do. And the government clearly didn't want to do it either, even though it has billions of dollars to handle this kind of stuff. And you're going to wrap her up in an investigation by the Department of Labor and Industries because she's not picking up, allegedly, the needles that you hand out to drug addicts in the way that you would like them picked up. Because you don't want them picked up. You just want them to sit there so a kid can pick it up or a dog can step on it and die. It is sick, sick stuff. So we have Andrea's back. She's not in this alone. I know you have Andrea's back, and all sane people are going to start to wake up to the abuse that the party in power is putting dissidents through. This is what happens when you enter authoritarianism. There is a price to pay for being a dissident. And Andrea is now seeing, and she has for several years, seen the price of personal attacks, of lawfare now, that comes with dissenting from the people in power.
You know, that's the one thing that I'm very interested and curious about is that the left don't seem to notice those things. Like, for example, the left don't seem to notice that our resources are being given away to foreigners. Well, how can you take care of the foreigners if you don't take care of your own family? They like to come into my channel and try to sound like they're some sort of faith, spiritual people, some sort of Christian values somewhere in there. But yet they become hypocrites. For the Bible says to respect the law of the land. Jesus didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. People say we ought to separate church from government. Sure. We separate Christianity from the law of the land. And we're able to do that. We continue to have our own faith and spirituality in our own way. And we continue to respect the law of the land, our government, which government was created by God for us, so that we can have law and order. I find so interesting that the libtards want to blame Republicans and Christians for not taking care of the homeless, for not stopping drug addiction. And yet, they are happy to punish those who are trying to help end the pandemic of drug abuse in this country. It is a pandemic, whether you like it or not. Hundreds of thousands of people die every year to drugs overdoses. Innocent people, while the criminals enrich themselves, and you, the socialists who believe that taxing the rich is the solution, you don't understand why we need police officers. You don't understand why we abide by the law. You don't understand why we continue to have higher values than you do. See, we support the policies that protect the United States of America. We support the policies that protects our children from being mutilated, from being indoctrinated into a sexual perversion. We believe that the freedom of religion, but we don't believe that any religion has the right to overrun our country or overrule the law of the land. People like to think that being politically correct is the way to be. Well, I say, fuck that. I don't care for being politically correct because that has gotten us nowhere. Being politically correct for the last couple of decades is what has been destroying our country. Everybody should be telling the truth, no matter how much it hurts to correct somebody. It's not about Democrat or Republican, I agree. But it is the Democrat Party who is overwhelmingly breaking our law, raping the Constitution, putting aside the American citizens' interests, and align themselves with criminals and illegal aliens in this land. They want to abolish our Constitution, which is the very foundation of why this country is so great, written by our Christians and non-Christian forefathers. The Constitution who has been proven to have made this country the greatest country on earth. The enemy wants to destroy that accomplishment. They want to abolish the presidency, the executive branch. Imagine that. Or so they think. They want to abolish the Senate and Congress. I don't disagree with that too much. But I do know that we have three branches of power to check each other. One is not more than the other. Now, whether you like the president in office or not, it is irrelevant. When we're talking about local issues like in our cities, our counties, our states, that's our responsibility. The responsibility of every city and state does not fall on the president's shoulders, but it falls on the shoulders of every American citizen and resident alien who are permanently allowed to domicile in our country. It falls on the shoulders of the mayors, the city councils, on the governors. Those are the people who we should be blaming for any of these problems. Billions of dollars has been spent in California to stop the homeless. You know what they got? Multiplied homeless. It doesn't go away. There are politicians who are corrupt on both parties. The majority are proven to be on the Democratic side. See, corruption filters into people's hearts and minds, and then we, the people, end up picking up the garbage that they leave behind. If you try to fix something, if you are making a difference in this country, socialist Democrats will tear you apart as if they like crime, as if they like to live in a third world country shithole mentality. Interestingly enough, here in Seattle, Washington, LGBTQ community has been very loud and outspoken. Well, guess what? Now that we have Muslims starting to dominate here in Washington state, LGBTQ is no longer allowed to be mentioned in certain scenarios as to not offend our Muslim community. I hate to say I told you so, but we told you so. Democrats are like cannibals. They eat each other. You see, the truth cannot be covered forever. But darkness grows with the less light that you give it. It's like a cancer that eats at you until it's fatal. And by the time that you realize that the cancer is fatal, it is too late. That's why God has given us the ability to think for ourselves so that we may judge every situation that we encounter in our life, starting from our very childhood. We are learning how to be good people, how to be safe, how to take care of each other. Children's minds are like sponges, and the enemy knows this. That's why they have infiltrated our government and they have infiltrated our education system. We're losing our children to these indoctrinations of this dark cult of sexual perversion created by Satan. Now, this is just my spiritual side speaking. But the government has a responsibility to protect not just one class of people, but all. And the government should not put one class of people over others. It should always be equal. That is the kind of politician that I want to know. 2028 is very foggy still, but I believe that we're going to put our name on that ballot. We're going to run for governor 2028. I guarantee you, transparency is going to blow your mind. And you're going to be able to see the corruption that this state of Washington has been living under. And if God allows it, we will expose every corrupted criminal in our government, starting from the Attorney General and the Governor and the Mayor of Washington State. Everybody has the right to coexist with everybody else. Christians are not more special than the LGBTQ. LGBTQ is not more special than the Christians. In schools, I expect to see nothing about LGBTQ. Instead, I expect to see American flags, constitutions decorating the hallways, laws, amendment rights. These are the things that we should decorate our schools with. Pictures of presidents, forefathers, civic duty in school. Allegiance to the flag should always continue to be used and preserved. And if we have any religious people that are not able to assimilate to a westernized civilization, then they can pack up and go back to where they came from. Go back to the country that allows you to practice your shit. While you have the freedom of religion, does not give you the freedom to disturb school hours, business hours. You need to assimilate and follow the law of the United States of America. It's very simple to live a good life, to be prosperous without being envious of somebody else's success. My teachers taught me that if I wanted to be somebody, I don't look at somebody else's life and wish that was mine. I was taught to work hard, to hold myself accountable for every action, for every decision that I make. And if I fail, it's my own doing. They never taught me to go and blame the rich, the millionaires, or the billionaires, because that's stupid. If I want to be a millionaire, I got to do what it takes to be a millionaire. You want to be a socialist? Don't wait on money. You want to be a socialist? All of these millionaires that are telling you that they want you to be socialist, they should use all of their money to buy farmland. Go get some fisheries. And then you can live your socialism. You cannot live socialism and depend on capitalist money. That's not how it works. Socialism is not a monetary system. It is a trade system. It is a social system. If you have food, you can share it with somebody else that doesn't. How do you get food? Well, you got to buy it if you don't have a farm. That means you have to be capitalist. Many of you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. You have been indoctrinating yourself. You have been believing lies from your own enemy and believe them to be your brothers. Well, we're not stupid on this side. We use common sense. And when we don't know what we need to do, we fall back to the Constitution. To be clear, the Constitution of the United States of America belongs to American citizens and in some way permanent domiciles. That is, permanent resident aliens. The law is very clear. You have to be under the full jurisdiction of the United States of America in order to be able to have a child become an American citizen by birth. Well. Let me give you something new today that I'm sure nobody has ever told you before. Guess who is in charge of immigration status? And every state has to accept it. It is the state constitution, and it is the United States of America Constitution. Illegal immigrants are not under the full jurisdiction of the federal government. for they are illegal. They are unrecognized. They are not authorized to be here. That's why the federal government, immigration, ICE, and all these agents have to deport you if you are illegal in this country. See, they can't imprison you because you are not under the full jurisdiction of the federal government, who has the authority over immigration rights. Therefore, you illegal immigrants cannot make American citizens. Do I make myself clear? Not yet? What happens if the United States of America starts imprisoning every Mexican and every illegal immigrant that comes into this country? Mexico and those countries will throw a fit and demand their citizens to be released. You know why? Because they are under the full jurisdiction of that government. Man. The truth shall set you free. Man, there's too much knowledge, too much power. Now, with that being said, we're talking about that would be illegal. No shit, Sherlock. Here we go. Let me give you about a minute information here. This is from KTLA 5. You heard it right. KTLA 5. Here we go. Let's take a listen to this information. Because you know Democrats never lie. They never cheat. They're always very honest, upfront with the truth. They never hide anything. They don't make up anything. The Democrats, they're just perfect. So let's hear it from LA News.
Behind a recent poll showing Karen Bass leading Nithya Raman in the race for LA mayor says its results are fake. A website for the company Median Strategy says it was created as, quote, a short-term social experiment examining how purported polling information could enter and spread through the political information system without independent verification. Several media outlets, including KTLA, reported the false data, which showed the incumbent mayor leading her challenger by double digits. Mayor Bass's campaign has deleted its post sharing the fake poll numbers. A spokesperson for the Bass campaign says, quote, this poll was reported on by multiple news outlets. Any bad faith attempts to influence elections should be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. A spokesperson for the Raman campaign tells KTLA in part, quote, the mayor's campaign promoted a fake poll without properly vetting the source. Angelenos deserve a mayor who gets the facts right, communicates clearly, and does the work before announcing the result.
Cannibals. They just eat each other, don't they? Man, that's the first time that I hear this. Man, that's so funny. That's so funny. Let's see here. What is this shit? Oh, look at this. Let's get some EV, some electric vehicles, guys, because they are phenomenal. Check this out. Check this out. Patriotic, we can fix that. No problemo, he says. No problemo. Oh, man. All right, guys, calm down, SA. Let's see here. We have Governor DeSantis. Oh, you guys, I think we already played that one. My bad. Let's see. I don't have any live events, I don't think. Let's get some news here from 57 minutes ago. Let's take a look.
Let's bring in Rebecca Heinrich, Senior Fellow at the Hudson Institute. While we were watching Trey's report, we noticed that the Iranians, they feel pretty comfortable to all get together now, Rebecca. That's different.
Yeah, it is different. And Dana, the Iranians haven't backed off their original demands. And in fact, they're making more audacious demands, even publicly now, saying that they want the United States to remove the blockade. They want reparations for the military activity that has already taken place. And clearly, President Trump is very frustrated with the Omanis. The Omanis are an ally of the United States. But if the Omanis are suggesting that they may be okay with the Iranians doing things like demanding tolls of the Strait, clearly that's not going to work for President Trump in the United States, and he's making that very clear that the Iranians, under no circumstance, with Oman or not, they cannot control the Strait at all.
Jack Keane with us yesterday. Iran threatening again. This is what he thinks. Watch.
I have been saying, and I think the Wall Street Journal has picked up on it from their sources, that the Iranians likely, given the midterm elections are coming, will increase the volatility and violence in the area to demonstrate to the American people that the management of the war is not going good.
Okay, 77 days away from that vote. How much credence do you give that theory?
I think that that's right. I mean, President Trump clearly has settled into this preference of a strategy to dry up the Iranians' ability to reconstitute some of their military by this economic blockade, by increasing sanctions, and then by trying to get some ships, as many as we can, along the coast of Oman. But as you just heard from Jack Keane, we do know that the Iranians are going to be busy trying to do exactly what we don't want them to do, which is reconstitute their military forces. And they're going to try to embarrass President Trump by shooting at these ships in the Strait and by trying to undermine his efforts to move oil. And they're going to do it because they understand that the election is coming up and President Trump does not want to resume military operations. And so I'm of the mind that the sooner the better. The United States does have to resume military operations alongside the Israelis, who have been very helpful for the United States in degrading the Iranian capabilities.
And we also heard from Jared Kushner, who had met with the Hamas, and he spoke to Trey Yingst. He gave a little bit more detail on those conversations. Watch here.
I mean, they said all the right things, but obviously it's very, very hard to trust, a terrorist organization that committed these terrible atrocities. But we had a very cordial meeting, and they said all the right things. And so we're going to give them a chance to perform, but it's going to have to be based on actions and steps. And I hope it will be true.
What will you be looking for as this continues?
Well, I mean, Hamas has to actually completely lay down their arms and comply with this effort to destroy essentially all of the tunnels that Hamas has dug along Gaza before the Israelis can leave the area. And so I think that the magic words from Jared Kushner there was that he gave to reporters that they're not, the United States is not going to pressure Israel at all to leave the region until Hamas is gone. And so that's what I'm going to be looking for. But it's not going to take much looking, Dana, because I have no confidence that Hamas is going to do that. Hamas's very existence is really based on killing Israelis, killing the West and fighting the West. And so until Hamas is completely destroyed, I don't suspect that Israel is going to be willing to leave the Gaza area.
You're right about that to this point. Rebecca, thanks for coming on. Rebecca Heinrichs on both those topics.
President Trump delivering a new warning for Iran, making it clear he's in no hurry to make a deal until they agree to give up their nuclear ambitions. Last hour, he posted on Truth Social that no conversations are going on or are even scheduled. Retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery is a senior fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies to help us puzzle through this. Here's what President Trump said yesterday about Oman.
You said you would bomb the S out of Oman if they got in the way of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Would you say you're out of patience with Oman, a strategic partner?
No, I don't think they behave very well, but we handle them very easily, just like we do other things.
Can you give us the context about Oman's position here?
So Oman is on the southern end of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran on the northern edge. And so geographically, they both are very involved in it. Now, as you know, the Strait of Hormuz is an international transit way. The two countries can speak to each other. They should not make some kind of deal where they control the Strait of Hormuz or they toll it. I'm not sure Oman is attempting to do that. Oman is a long-term ally or partner of the United States. I think that they've been helpful for us in creating a very southern transit scheme through their waters over the last 4 months. But the president, I think his warning was overdone. but the president was attempting to remind them that they should adhere to international law when having any discussions with Iran.
What do you make of some say that Oman and Iran are thinking about doing this tolling system in the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, certainly Oman didn't have that intent originally, right? Oman's they're a victim of Iran in the sense that Iran has actually bombed them several times over the last 6 months. I think Oman is looking, and Qatar, who's the intermediary, are looking for a way through this so they can get flow going back through. But Oman had better be careful here. I mean, they are a partner of the United States, and President Trump clearly does not want a solution that includes tolling or fees of any kind. And I think in the end, Oman will bend back towards the U.S. point of view on this. But the lack of any U.S. IRGC or U.S. Iranian discussions are probably forcing this issue forward.
Okay, let's also ask you about this because Jared Kushner has been there. Well, he's been everywhere helping the president. In particular, he was talking about his conversation with Hamas officials yesterday. He spoke to our own Trey Yinks. Here's part of that interview.
You met with Hamas officials yesterday. Do you think they're genuine about peace?
I mean, they said all the right things, but obviously it's very, very hard to trust, a terrorist organization that committed these terrible atrocities. But we had a very cordial meeting, and they said all the right things. And so we're going to give them a chance to perform, but it's going to have to be based on actions and steps.
I think he sounds, skeptical. Of course, Hamas would say all of the right things. The question is, what will they do, and how would we know? How will you assess that?
Well, look, I'm glad he took that that was a very skeptical answer, and he's right. I mean, this is a terrorist organization that's been a terrorist organization for decades. It's vowed the end, from the river to the sea, the ending of the Israeli state and the genocide of the Israeli people. So there's the old Reagan axiom, trust but verify, is trust but verify, verify, verify with these guys, because I don't trust them. I don't think you can get a true agreement out of Hamas, and I think Jared Kushner was kind of reflecting that in his answer.
Indeed. All right, Mark Montgomery, we appreciate you coming on the show, and say hello to your colleagues over there at FDD.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here's the thing about Iran. Listen. Iran does not own the Strait of Hormuz. They don't. What I find interesting is that people on the left, they're so influenced. By now, the left has been infiltrated so bad by illegal immigrants and all these enemies of the United States of America that I understand why they talk so bad about the United States. They have allowed our enemies to incorporate with the Democratic Party. They have allowed the people that envy us, the people that hate us, to incorporate in this so-called big tent of the Democratic Party. Our tent is small. You have to be America first. The rights of the American citizens and the residents, that comes first. It's a very small tent. You have to abide by the law. You cannot be in this country illegally. Very small tent. You cannot be a criminal. Very small tent. Democrats, you can be illegal, you can be a criminal, you can hate America, you can be a Muslim that wants to override our law, you can be in Congress hating and burning the American flag, you can be anything. Nobody gets judged. And without law, there is no order. Don't give up your rights for the insanely stupid people. It's just like the way to heaven. It's a very, very narrow road. Not everybody gets to go through it. And the road to perdition is huge. limitless, almost. Anybody can get in there. Big tent. That's funny how that works, doesn't it? You see, I'm not saying that Republicans are Christians. What I'm saying is Republicans, conservatives, most people with common sense, choose to do what's right. Those who are ignorant, maybe a little retarded, low IQ, like Somali pirates, they decide to do what's bad. And the whole big tent of the Democratic Party, they all fall under bad, on American. You see what I'm saying? For Pete's sakes, you have a congresswoman who says her president is the president of Somalia. You have another congresswoman who believes Palestinians are first before American citizens. During her campaign, Palestinian flags, no American flags. Her celebration party, Palestinian flags, no American flags. Muslims are allowed, forgiven, and given the freedoms of religion, while Christians get punished and demonized. Just here in Seattle, Washington, the previous mayor called Christians, pissed me off, called Christians far-right radicals. And it was the LGBTQ far left who was attacking them. That pissed me off right there. And if I wasn't misinformed about the race for governor, I would have ran for mayor of Seattle. We could have been fixing Seattle right now. Well, let's hope as a governor, we can make some better changes. Hopefully, and I don't care if they're socialist Democrats. I want to speak to them personally and show them that this doesn't work. And maybe I can help them find the right way. Hopefully. We'll see. It's going to be a long race. I'm going to tell you that right now. A long race. But somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to do it. Let me go ahead and get this clip here from Elijah Manley. I am not in support of open borders, he says. Well, let's take a listen.
So tomorrow's primary day in Florida. One of the races to watch is in the state's 20th congressional district. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz running here after Republicans redrew the congressional map. She is seeking her 12th term in Congress. She is the former chair of the DNC, and my next guest hopes to unseat her. 27-year-old Elijah Manley joins me now. He is a self-described socialist. His positions include Medicare for all and abolishing ICE. Elijah, thank you very much for joining me today. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me, Martha.
Thank you. I want to play this from earlier today. This is Rahm Emanuel, obviously a very prominent member of the Clinton administration and someone that some people think may seek higher office. Here's what he had to say about the DSA or socialist candidates running now.
The Democratic Socialists, 3 weeks ago in Chicago, they had a convention. Run on your own ticket. If you're confident people want it, we'll see you in November. If you think they want defunding the police, letting prisoners out, I'll see you in November on the ballot. And if you're confident that that's what people want, go for it.
So what do you say to him, Elijah?
I think Rahm Emanuel should just be quiet. I think right now we are a big tent party. We welcome the wide range of ideas and free speech that we have. I'm not for defunding the police, and I don't think anyone is running around saying defund the police. But I find it really strange that we haven't.
He doesn't think anybody's going around saying defund the police. This is how fucking retarded this man right here is. Unbelievable.
individual in our party like Rahm Emanuel attacking the Democratic Party in such a pivotal year.
This is Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, or Minority Leader, I should say, Hakeem Jeffries on yesterday. Watch this.
I do not support defunding the police. I do not support open borders. I do not support abolishing the Senate. And I don't support the DSA agenda as has been articulated by the DSA itself. What I'm excited about are the candidates who are running to flip seats in November to deliver us a majority.
So let's address and get your thoughts on the idea of open borders. Do you believe that anybody who wants to enter the country should be able to enter, even if they do it breaking the law?
But Martha, I'm not a supporter of open borders, but I'm also not a supporter of having an agency kidnapping Americans off the street like ICE has, where you have untrained people, 19-year-olds, they pulled off the street and gave, guns to. That's not how we do things in America. I think that we need to have law and order, but the only way to have law and order is to have trained individuals following the law. These are paperwork violations for the most part. The data doesn't show that you have mass amounts of immigrants killing people. Some people show anecdotes and the one-off incidents, but the fact is, we had good bipartisan legislation that Democrats tried to get passed through the Congress, and unfortunately Donald Trump killed it.
Let me ask you this. First of all, as you know, ICE would dispute what you're saying there. I've spent time with ICE agents in Texas. They're hardworking. They're upholding the laws that exist on the books, that if you enter the country illegally, and especially if you have a criminal record or a detainer against you, you have to be removed. And when they wake up in the morning and they show up at work, they have assignments that are given to them to remove people who are criminal or who have removed.
But nobody says it? Susan, fuck, go get your medicines, old lady.
Move orders against them. Do you have any problem with someone who fits that criteria being apprehended and removed from our country?
Well, I just don't think it's a good idea to take someone who committed a murder and say, go back home and live free and enjoy the rest of your life. If someone comes to this country and they commit murder or violence, we have American jails that we can put them in and make sure they never see daylight again. But
which they don't. They just let them out free anyway. See, that's what you fucking retards on the left don't see. They lie to you, and you like lies. You like being lied to. Fuck that shit. You talk to me straight. Don't fucking lie to me, because I will hold you accountable for it. And you don't want me as a fucking enemy. I will tell you that right now. You'd rather be my friend. I can tell you that right now.
The idea that, we pick somebody off the street that committed murder, and by the way, it's not that many people we're talking about here. We're talking about a very small number of people with these criminal records.
That may be,
Most
but
people that come
let
to
me
this
put
country
up, that
don't
may
have
be,
criminal
Elijah.
records.
Okay, so let's talk about the specific instances where they do, because there have been thousands of people who have criminal records. They may not commit a crime here, but they came here with a criminal record from another country, and they came here illegally, right? I mean, we all come from somewhere. We've all been brought into this country, and we've come here to build a life. But if you are a criminal, you break that social contract. You don't have the right to stay in the country anymore. Tell that to these women whose faces I'm putting up on the screen now: Laken Riley, Sheridan Gorman, whose family I have spent a lot of time with, Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungery. She was 12 years old when she was attacked by these men, who I'll put up after them, who were in the country illegally, had no right to be here. Imagine if a person that you loved in your family was killed or raped or murdered by someone who wasn't even here legally. How would you feel about that?
Well, here's what I say. My heart obviously hurts for those people, but we can't, base entire arguments off of anecdotes, one-off incidents. I mean, the data is not showing that you have thousands of people being murdered or killed by illegal immigrants in the country. That's just not true. We don't have to use fear in our arguments when we're talking about immigration. We want to have law and order, but we want to have a system that works. We want to create a pathway to citizenship for people.
Elijah, I'm not talking about fear. I'm talking about reality. I'm talking about reality, and I don't know that it matters.
Well, the data just doesn't support your argument.
Okay, so you're saying if there's thousands of people or hundreds of people who have committed crimes, you're just going to let them stay because the larger argument doesn't support it, or would you remove someone?
No, if they're committing murders, then they should go to prison. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
What
I
if
understand that some Republicans want to take these
But they should
individuals and
stay
give them
here.
a vacation back at home, but they should go to prison. Is what they should do.
That's
If they
not
kill
true.
an American,
That's not
they
true.
should go to prison. But
What if they
Republicans want to
killed
give them
someone
a
in their
vacation
country?
and take them to another country in the Latin
No,
American
I don't think anyone wants to give them a
continent.
vacation. No one wants to give them a vacation. If
Well,
they
then let's put
have
them in
a-
prison if they're committing murders, right?
But hold on, but we're talking about two different things. I'm saying if they come into the country illegally, which means crossing the border illegally, and they have a rap sheet back in their own country, are you okay with them staying here?
What I'm saying is if a murderer comes into the United States of America,
shit, that's what you
sending
just
them
said.
back for them to just come back over the border doesn't
How
make
do you
sense
know?
to me. If you're a murderer coming to this country,
How the fuck do they know? They're not vetting them. They're not vetting illegal immigrants. How the fuck do you know what the rap sheet is? That is the fucking point of illegal immigrants coming into this country. They need to be vetted. Nobody knows who they are.
puts you in jail. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Republicans want to give these folks a vacation. I'm not interested in giving a criminal
That's
a vacation.
ridiculous. I don't know what
back
you're talking
home
about the
or a free
vacation.
trip.
No, we're talking about removing them for the country that they came to illegally. There's almost no country in the world that allows people to just cross their border and begin a life inside that country. You have to come in legally. Would you not agree with that?
I agree with that, but there's a right and a wrong way to carry out our laws. We have a constitution in this country. We have rule of law. We have a Congress, and we cannot have a situation where we have people terrorizing not just immigrant communities, but terrorizing our communities, shooting random people in the face like Alex Perty. I mean, this is not acceptable.
Oh, let's not go ahead and criminalize the system, shooting people, random people in the face. Okay, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Way to carry out our laws in this country. The president and the executive branch need to enforce the laws, but they need to obey Congress because Congress is part of our constitution in this country.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Elijah. Congress's laws are the laws that ICE is upholding. And I'm just going to ask you one more time because you didn't answer my question. Are you okay with someone crossing our border illegally, even though that's against the laws of the United States? I'm not talking about how they're removed. Are you okay with them coming in illegally?
I think I answered this question.
This guy is a fucking moron, and I think he's in the chat. All right, okay. So the logic of the left, Dave Engel, go suck a big one. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You don't have to keep coming in here. Get the fuck out of here. Listen to me. So the logic of the left is, Americans commit crimes. Might as well allow illegal immigrants to do it. Let me tell you why this upsets me very much. An illegal immigrant kills a police officer, state patrol officer. Can you believe the fucking Democrats released him out of jail? Oh, yeah, let's keep them in jail, you say. You fucking idiots. That is the whole point of our argument, that you don't keep them in jail. And then you give me the argument of, oh, my God, we're going to spend $40,000 a year for every prisoner. No, let them out. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? How retarded are you? Do you have no brains? How about we start with rice and beans for lunch and dinner, some eggs for breakfast, and water. No cell phone, no internet, no entertainment, no weights to exercise. Just fucking prison. Plain old prison. Will save a lot of money. How much money are these criminals wasting the taxpayer dollars, destroying properties, killing innocent people, raping women? $40,000 a year for a criminal? Maybe we should start handing out death sentences. How is that? Will that save you money? I say so. Yeah, anybody that gets life in prison should be death sentence. How's that? Just because we have criminals in our country which I will point out, we have a problem with our own people. Even more reason to not allow illegal immigrants. Period. Oh, you have to treat prisoners fairly, huh? Oh, the human rights of the prisoners, fuck their human rights. They gave up those rights when they became criminals. You have the right to due process. You get represented. You plead your case. You are convicted and you're a criminal and you get put in prison. No more fucking rights for you. And you don't get to vote. Can you fucking believe this? Democrats allow criminals to fucking vote. Can you believe this? Minnesota allows for criminals to vote. Well, ain't that something? No wonder they fucking let these criminals out of jail. One person can vouch for 8 people in Minnesota during their elections. Oh, I researched it. I looked it up, and I found it, and I looked for it. So I looked this up. Can a voter in Minnesota precinct vouch up for up to 8 people? Minnesota law allows registered voters to assist others with same-day registration through a process commonly known as vouching. Do you fucking think that criminals are going to vouch for themselves? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think they would. I think they would vouch for themselves. You see how stupid these democratic laws and policies are? You see why they fight us to pass the Save America Act? Go ahead, Winnie that poop. Tell me, why is it whitewashed hate? Is it truth that you call white? Then I'd rather be white because it is the truth. Interesting. I look at these things up. I looked it up and I couldn't find the answer. Now, it used to give more information than this. Now, this is what I get. Can you marry your cousin in Florida? Why would you want to marry your cousin? You incest biatch. Second, third generation, getting closer. After a while, you ain't cousins no more. You see what I'm saying? What the fuck? Yeah, Winnie, you hate yourself. I get it. I get it. You don't have to explain it to me. Duke Nukem, you can do that in just about every state. What's your point? Get him, Patriots! Oh, man. It passed Republican House. So what? That's not criminal. That's not killing anybody. I'm proud of you. You're a racist bitch. Get the fuck out of my chat, you racist asshole. I don't tolerate racism. Fuck out of here, bro. Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad. I forgot, guys. I forgot. Winnie the Pooh. For Winnie the Pooh.
You's a lame ass nigga. Oh, weak ass nigga.
Ah, man, these people on the left, bro, they just, I don't know, man. I just need to know.
I I got a question because I really need to know. Do you ever get tired of being a bitch ass nigga? A hoe ass nigga. A hoe ass nigga. A pussy ass nigga.
Do you get tired? Or do you get tired of being a pussy ass bitch? Oh, Nethro. Oh, fantastic. This is you, bro.
You's a lame ass nigga. Oh, weak ass nigga.
Susan, you know, for a 74-year-old hag, you are really stupid. You know that? I think you're losing it. I'm sorry. You are fucking losing it. I can never be respectful to a person who self-destructs and takes the country with them. So fuck you very much for your dumbass comments.
You's a lame ass nigga. Oh, weak ass nigga.
That's right. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome, Tanya. It's not copyright, sweetheart. But nice try, biatch. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of my channel, Susan. Nobody invited you here. Nobody has you here by force. All right, here. Let me do a favor. Get the fuck out of here. Go take your meds. Go take a nap. There you go. Let me give you that. People think that I need to make friends on my channel. Well, I don't. I don't give a fuck about your libtards. Because you don't help us. You don't help us make our country great. Do you understand? I have no pity. Not politically correct. If you are against my American citizens, well, fuck you very much. If you are against the United States of America and my president, well, fuck you very much as well. You pussy-ass libtards don't have any common sense. You don't have any respect for your American patriots. You have no respect for your countrymen, so fuck you very much. Don't need your shit. It is what it is, bro. I don't give a fuck. Sick and tired of these bitches coming in here. They're not even bringing any questions, any facts, any arguments, constructive criticism, nothing. They're just fucking here to troll and piss you off, the American people. How can you sit there and let them insult you, Americans? How can you? I just don't understand. Why would you let fucking pussies take over your country and then make you a bitch ass? How can you? See, like this pussy ass illegal Juan Rodriguez. A la verga, cabrón. Get the fuck out of here too, you pussy ass. Here, I'm going to let you pussies call in. I want you to teach me how to speak English. Go on now. I want you to go ahead and call in. Oh, I want you to teach me how to be a real American citizen. By all means. Get her done. Go ahead. Call me in. Call me in and teach me how to speak English. Oh, Daniel, just because you're a pussy, it doesn't mean that I'm hating on you. You hate yourself enough. I don't have to do it for you. Come on down. There's a phone number. I'm sure some courageous people will call in. You guys remember the callers from yesterday? Oh, man. Thank you, Clam99. Listen, these people want me to say, oh, I'm a Christian. You know why? You know why they want me to say I'm a Christian? So that they can talk shit to me, and then they can judge me by talking shit right back. Well, I'm not that kind of Christian. Yeah, little hands, this shit will knock the shit out of you. Little hands, bro. This guy. Oh, it's evil, all right. Are you not entertained? Oh, shit. Oh, DOK knife. Pussy ass bitch. Right there. This is one of my original trolls on my channel. Just, bruh, these people, listen. I think somebody, Inglés in Barreras. Yes. Worked for me. Actually, I learned English in school, but yes, Inglés en Barreras is one of the things that Univision used to push on people all the time. I remember that, man. That was a good one. But anyways, come on. Oh, here we go. We got a call. Oh, here we go. I get some good people calling in sometimes. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Hey, man, it's me, Sean, brother. I'm just calling in to check in with you. I'm not calling to say anything negative towards you. I support you 100%, but these people in the thread, man, it's killing me. They're talking about illegals not committing crimes. How do you know when they don't, sanctuary states and sanctuary cities don't differentiate between American citizens and illegals when it comes to crime?
Correct.
So we have no idea what the data is. So all these people saying that the data doesn't support it's full of shit. They don't know what the data is.
Yeah, that's the biggest argument that I have. I just like, you got to prove it. You can't just say it. You have to prove it to me.
And all of these people that are in our fucking Congress and in Senate and stuff, man, you know, when we first started this country, in the first 13 colonies, you had to have a declaration of faith before you could even run for office. And that was that you believed in God. And now they don't even require that you believe in our country.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got people in our country serving and making laws that don't even support our country. They hate our fucking country. And all of these people that are sitting here supporting it are supporting the downfall of the last fucking place on earth you've got to go.
Yeah.
Once this is destroyed, we have nowhere else to go, man. This is it.
Yeah, and if you don't defend your country, man, the enemies are definitely not going to defend our country.
Absolutely, man. I just wanted to tell you, man, I support you 100%. I call in every once in a while just to check in and let you know, man, you got supporters out here that love you. I want to see you win office, man. I want to see you make changes because I believe you will, brother.
Yeah.
God bless you. Have an awesome day, all right?
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you, man. Be blessed.
You too.
Well, there you go. We got at least one call. Let me turn this down here because I talk very loud. I don't need a microphone when I talk out in the open, just so you know. So I do speak very loud. I need to get a better sound system, but until I get to do that, I'm not going to waste it, and I'm going to use what I have at my disposal. So one of the things that Sean was talking about is that, you know, that how can they differentiate between legal and illegals? You can't. You got to have proof of citizenship. Now, you can get mad at me, you know, if you're a sensitive person and you get offended very easily, I can understand why you get mad at me. But you have to understand that there is plenty of trolls that I know that are trolls. And then there is people, and the way that I calibrate what kind of personality they have or their brain that they may have functioning is by the comments which how they introduce themselves. Yeah, normally they're coming here showing me how low IQ they are by starting to insult our president, us, because we support the president, right? That's how I know. They're low IQ. You will never be able to have a conversation with people like that. If you hate Trump, fantastic. That's your decision. Do what you want. But if you want to have a conversation, you have to address the issues that we are having locally. Stop worrying about what happened in Florida if you live in Washington State. Now, what do I mean by that? If they are going through the same things that we're going through here, then I'll speak about it, right? But I'm not going to hate you for that. Here we go. Illinois is very interesting. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
How you doing? My name is James. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, James. You calling from Chicago?
No, I'm calling from Belleville.
Oh, okay. Well, I just asked because maybe you have experience on what's going on there.
Well, I want to say I'm what you call Afro-Latino. My father's from Mexico and my mother's black from St. Louis.
Blaxican, huh?
Yes.
I love it.
And what I wanted to say is that Mexicans and Latinos have no business fighting with blacks, and blacks have no business fighting with Latinos. We're supposed to be brothers. From what our people been through, and especially down there in Texas, Arizona, that's Mexican territory before it was U.S. territory.
Yeah.
That was all Mexican. These Mexican people are indigenous to this land as well. They're basically, to me, are considered Indians as well.
Yeah.
You know, and people forget, especially black people forget, well, where do you think the slaves went when they couldn't go north? They went to Mexico. Mexico didn't believe in slavery.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, man, I mean, I love my Latino people, man, and we have no business arguing or fighting with each other. We're supposed to embrace each other, period.
Well, the way you have to look at it is this way. Remember, even if you say, right, that, remember, Mexico was not everywhere, right? But let's just say Mexico. Mexico was colonized by Spaniards. But you have to understand this. The difference is not the people. The difference is the jurisdiction. So Mexicans, you know, you can say that you're Mexican, like your parents, right? You're not. You're American. But I understand why you're describing yourself as Mexican American. The way that it works is like this. Okay, so I see, this is the thing that people don't understand about me. I love Mexico. I love all the people because we were all once the same people, okay? But the difference is the border moves. Texans, yes, they were Mexicans before, but before they were Mexicans, there were Aztecs, there were other sort of, you know, Native Americans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
You're
so,
right.
and so Texans, they didn't change who they are. They just changed who they're loyal to, the jurisdiction that binds them. They left Mexico. Yeah, they left Mexico because of their abuse, the tyranny. You know, they didn't want to be part of Mexico anymore, so they broke off and became part of the American citizen. And that is the way that I think about things. It's not that now that it's called the United States of America is white country. No, we are under a different jurisdiction. We have laws and things that we agree with. We submit to. And so when I look at black people here, yeah, you may have migrated from Kenya or, you know, from Ghana or any African countries. But at the end of the day, you're American. You're no longer African. You're no longer Mexican. If you were born here, you are American. And that's the way I see people.
Absolutely. Because I'm a veteran, United States Air Force.
Oh, thank you for your Air Force, badass.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell nobody I said that.
Brother. I'm like you, American. I'm not looking at your color. I don't care what color you are.
That's right, baby.
That doesn't mean what I'm concerned about is us as people.
Yeah.
Wherever you come from in the world, when you come here, you're now an American. And I look at you as an American, not white, not black, not Hispanic. I look at you as this is our country, and we got to help one another. I don't give a damn where you come from. If you need help, and that's my obligation as an American, is to make sure that you be able to not only be able to take care of your kids and your family, but to be able to survive for the next generation, to pass that down in history. That's what it's all about, to being an American. When war comes to this country, you're not going to look at, okay, you might need for me to come over there to give you food. I might need blood from you because I might have to fight if I try to get the enemy off my property. That's what it's about, being an American.
Absolutely.
And you're absolutely right, and I love you, brother.
No, I love you too, man. And thank you for your service again. And you know, a lot of people don't give our American vets, our military, even some vets and military are hating on others that are very American like you. They don't understand that.
You be, I'm not trying to block you off. But remember when the military was segregated? If you keep that division up, divided, we fall.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That is a true statement.
Yeah.
When war comes to this country, I believe all the racism might just go out the window, and everybody's going to see, look, we all need each other, or we are all going to die.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, we all start off as something else. Right? I don't know how to put it in words, but we all start off as something else, and then we become part of something so great. I can tell you this, the United States helps over 195 countries. That should be enough for the world. The other thing is, I'm going to tell you, if we were to go to war like here in the nation, I don't have to enlist. I will fight for this country, and I can tell you this. I want Americans next to me. I don't want DEIs. I want Americans who want to fight for this country. And
absolutely,
I'll tell you a quick story. This is not like a long story. It's a quick story. In Honduras, we're grown up with blacks and some Asians, not married. It's mostly blacks and Indian Spanish descent. Okay, just so you know, we used to play soccer, and we used to make bets. Now we didn't make a lot of money, but we had a few cents here. Everybody pitched in so that we can buy 2 liters of Coke or Pepsi, whatever. It's not an advertising, but we will put our monies in, and we'll say, okay, we're going to play this game. Whoever wins the drinks, right? So it was bread with sour cream, really good, tasteful sour cream, and then the soda. Did you know that if we won, we will eat that bread, share it amongst each other, and we will pass down the Coke bottle, not a little cup. We just passed the bottle along. And we didn't see black, Hispanic. We didn't see none of that shit. We're just Hondurans. And so that's the way that I am here. As I become an American citizen, we're just Americans.
I want to see this country. Exactly, brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's all we want.
Man.
Yeah.
That's morals and values people have.
Are you fucking kidding me? Can you imagine if I am out fearing for my life, and I see a black brother coming to my help? Shit. There's no color. There's no color. Just a brother coming for me. That's it.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you what happened to me. I ran out of gas at the 7-Eleven. It was a Mexican man came up to me and gave me $20. He said, "No, put some gas in your tank, man, and make it back home. You don't owe me nothing." I had to give him a hug, and he put tears in my eyes.
Yeah, man. But that's how it should be. I don't want to let any party of racists divide us anymore. I hate that shit.
I agree. Absolutely, I agree, brother. I agree with you. So I'm gonna let you go.
Thank you so much.
I love you, brother. Keep the good work up, okay?
Appreciate
Keep that fight going on, warrior. I
Much
got
love.
your back, okay?
All right, brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you.
Brother.
Bye.
Bye.
Do we have another caller? You wanna be anti-American? You wanna be un-American? I can tell you, I feel the love from this vet. I really do. Just as I feel the love from Sergeant Searer, from my man, Wolverine, Don Mitch, Tanya. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that are not here today. I feel that love. I feel your support. Duke Nukem, I think Duke Nukem probably doesn't agree with me with probably a lot of things, but he makes sense. And if he doesn't, I'll call him out. Just like everybody else. There's a lot of Hispanics that support Trump, not because he's Trump, but because he supports the United States of America. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want you to know. It's not just political. It's just life, period. That's why we talk about religion sometimes. I'm not a genius. I'm just a guy like you guys. I mean, yeah, so what? I have experience in public speaking and all this other stuff. Not once has anybody made fun of my English when I have given public speeches. Not once. The one thing that, that people don't understand is, how do we put America first? Well, we put America first of all, by loving one another. And what I'm talking about, that is our American countrymen. That's it. That's priority. There is a line. American citizens, residents, visitors. Everybody else got to go. I'm going to tell you, the Mexican guy that he says, that gave him some money for gas. There is a lot of people like that. And I don't know, maybe he is a good guy, maybe he's a criminal, we don't know. But that day, he helped out a brother. All I ask is for everybody to be vetted. I cannot support illegal immigration. Do you understand? I cannot. I can't. Hundreds of thousands of children are being trafficked, molested, abused, raped. Women, same thing. Even our elder. These guys don't care. I really wish that instead of having sanctuary cities, I really wish that every governor would work with the federal government and say, hey, we can take another 5,000 people. Hey, we can take 10,000 people. Who's applying? Who's a DACA document holder? Who's the TPS? Let's run some backgrounds. That's the way you get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? And they have to love the United States of America. They have to love the United States of America. All right, so if you have a comment, question, you can give me a call. There's the phone number right there on the chat. Like I said, we can be friends or we can be enemies. The choice is yours. I'd rather be friends. But in order for you to be my friend, you have to agree with me that American citizens should always be first. You have to agree with me that we have to protect immigration process. We have to protect our ICE federal agents. They are enforcing the law that we abide by. Pretty good. Unfortunate. But they put themselves in harm's way, just as some of you are still doing today. You can't criminalize the people that are fighting to defend you. You can't just be a traitor. As a veteran, you can't just turn on ICE and protect illegal immigrants. What are you doing? Do you not know the law? What is this bullshit of due process? What kind of due process do you think illegal immigrants get? Due process means that you get to prove your innocence. When it comes to immigration, due process means prove that you have authorization to be here. You get that due process when you come through a port of entry. A lot of corrupted activist judges are hurting this country because they don't act according to the law. They act according to their feelings. And you can't have that. If I was to go to war with soldiers and they got some orders to destroy a town where terrorists live, it's not going to be pretty. But if they start making decisions on their feeling, they're going to get killed. And they will fail their mission. And the enemy will laugh at them and desecrate their bodies. War is not nice. Oh, well, here we go. Compatriot here of Washington State. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Hey, hermano, how you doing, brother?
Hermano, who's this?
Hey, Jorge Martinez. I'm in Lakewood, Washington.
Oh, Jorge, aquí en Tacoma. ¿Qué pasa?
Hey, I just stumbled across your show, man. You got me going, bro. You got me laughing.
I'm sorry, man.
I got a little... You got me. Hey, so you seriously running for governor?
Yeah, 2028.
You know what, bro? I never trusted politicians and
Me neither.
Because, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, todas, it's like... Anyway,
todos
man,
mienten, man. They all lie.
Hey, you know what, man? I think I will vote, and I think I'm going to hit you up because I'm originally from Puerto Rico.
Nice, Boricuas, love it.
20 year retired vet, and what the brother was saying about a Mexican helping out. Yeah. My story is not similar, but it's kind of in a way. I was in Korea. I became a DJ, so I was doing salsa, merengue.
Yeah.
All the good music,
I know about those.
And we had a group of Mexicans over there called La Gente, and the main guy name was Chente.
Yeah.
Cool dude from Texas, and all he wanted me to do was play 3 Mexican songs. That's all he wanted. Vicente, anything that had to do with that.
The Idol. Of course, Vicente the Idol.
I'll tell you what, bro.
He's the best.
Out of all the Hispanics there, my main supporters were Mexicans.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
I have more trouble with my people, the Puerto Ricans, with because the Mexicans, they had their own club and they were inviting me and stuff. And I've been to El Paso, Texas. I've been to Juarez before it got bad.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? Bro, I got no problem with the Mexican people, man.
Yeah, they're wonderful people.
They're cool.
Yeah.
And not just Mexican, bro. I got no problems with anybody. I got black family.
Yeah.
I even think I got Chinese family. I think it's true.
Yeah.
Because I was born in a mountain in Puerto Rico called La Montaña China, the Chinese mountain.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that came about. But hey, man, I love your show, bro. I'm going to continue to watch and hopefully we start getting some of your flyers down here at Tacoma and Lakewood areas.
Oh yeah, man. Once we start campaigning, that's going to be a tough one down there because you know how it is in down in the 5 area and all that stuff, man. A lot of bad stuff going on over there.
Yeah,
But
I came from Jersey. I retired here, so from a blue state to a blue state. But I think even though this is a blue state, we got a lot of red hearts.
yeah. No, the thing is, like, people don't believe me, man, because I'm always talking shit about Democrats because they're the ones that keep fucking up. But it doesn't matter to me if it's a Democrat or Republican. I just want the state to do what's right, and they're just wasting your tax dollars, and they just allow more illegal immigrants to come in here. They don't have no control. We have no vetting. We have gotten a lot of Sinaloa cartel arrests over here in Everett, in Seattle, in Tacoma. Like, the crime is crazy. And we have a lot of Hispanics who are really hard workers. We're talking about business owners, restaurant owners, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
These people are actually good fucking people. But they don't want to vet them. They don't want to vet them. They don't want to give them papers. They don't want to work with the federal government, so these people are going to be illegal and get kicked out. Hopefully they're legal. But if they're illegal, they'll get kicked out. And that's one of the things that I want to fight for. It's like, number one, Americans first. But I also know that there's a lot of DACA document holders and TPS people that are actually good people who are doing something great for this state. That's the kind of people we want to keep, man. If anything, if I can say anything to people, it's like, listen, even if you have to self-deport, you got my referral. Okay? So if you self-deport, you got my referral, and you're going to come back. It's that simple. I want to be able to talk with farmers. Okay, what can we do? Because I don't want you to have all these H-1B1 visas, and then I don't want you to set aside the resident alien people. I don't want you to set aside the citizens just because you want to import Mexicans or Hondurans or whatever kind of people to work the farm. I want to make sure that you're giving the people that is here that work, if that's what they want to do. And another thing is, our people are not just farmers, bro. We're not here just to clean toilets. There's business owners. There's business-minded people, hard workers that maybe in our countries, they make money, but not as good as they can make it here, because here we appreciate that freedom even more. And a hard worker will definitely prosper here in the United States of America. So we're gonna campaign for our people, man. I mean, obviously, as a Hispanic, I'll be more supportive of Hispanics. But at the end of the day, we're gonna make sure that we fight for that. All the Latinos, is what we're gonna have to get all Latinos for Dennis Herrera.
One more thing, if you don't mind, man.
Go ahead.
I want to tell you the problem I got with white people. And,
Go ahead.
And I'm being honest. I want to be honest with this.
Yeah, go ahead.
How dare a white man educated me, gave me the opportunities, let me join the military, let me retire, gave me congressional promotions. How dare they do that to me?
That's this
You know
racist.
what I'm saying,
Yeah,
bro,
they're racist. They prefer Hispanics than Americans.
Oh my God.
They prefer Hispanics than white.
I wish you the best, brother.
Thank you, man.
Hey, good luck on everything, man.
Yes, sir.
2028. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Hope you hook up.
Okay, bro.
All right, later, brother.
Take care.
All right, bye. Man, I'm getting more support than the hate from the libtards. Unbelievable. You know what? I appreciate those callers. Let me tell you why. Before I started my channel a year ago, I was making like videos, just kind of giving my opinion. I didn't want to get involved too much because I knew the hate that I'm going to get. I didn't want to get involved too much. So I started making small videos and shorts and stuff like that. And I just kept talking about why are we allowing the government to do this, to do that, and this and that. And so I would complain about unfairness, but I never gave up. I continue to work. I continue to pay my taxes, you know. It is what it is, right? And then I just, I started talking about it, and I hated the fact that at work I couldn't speak about it. I couldn't speak anything about government. I couldn't speak anything about religion, nothing about politics. And so I decided to start the podcast. And I'm going to tell you, when I first started the podcast, I was very disappointed. I had lost hope because I felt Washington State is destroyed. These guys are destroying it. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And so I started doing this channel, and, I needed 50 subscribers. It took me forever to get 50 subscribers so that I can do lives for you guys. Let me turn this down a little bit. And some of you patriots, Trinity, which I haven't seen for a long time, Tanya is one of those too, right, that has been with me for a while. But some of you patriots gave me hope. I kid you not, and I don't know, maybe they caught me crying. They caught me crying because of the pain of seeing how Americans and the people that are here in Washington State are suffering and have nobody gives a crap as long as they're making money. And so I would sit there just like, literally with no hope that we can do something here in Washington State. Now, thank you, Jorge. Gracias a ti, brother. Thank you for calling in. And so you guys gave me hope. And so I continue to do this. Now we're here a year later. And then I get a few people from different parts and different ideas and different ethnicities and give me even more hope. I will say this. I get to pick my attorney general. Doesn't have to be Republican. I really don't care about that. It has to be a fair man, a very smart man, and I'm going to test him myself. If I do a recommendation for an attorney general, I will test him myself. I'll take responsibility for it. I will fire his ass if I need to. With that being said, I will tell you this. I think that Democrats have wasted a lot of money. But you have to be realistic. And as I was driving, I drove from Seebeck, Washington. I drove all the way around. I had to pass through Tacoma. And I pay attention to my surroundings. And there is this big bridge that connects, that part of Washington State, Tacoma, to the part of the Seebeck area. And I'm looking at the structures of the freeways. I'm looking at the structure of parks, the bridges. It takes billions of dollars to build these things. So I'm not going to go hardcore crash on Democrats suck. No, because they have created some great things. My biggest problem that I have with the Democrat government right now is the incompetence that they have shown by keeping and maintaining a healthy budget. They have created these social programs, like you have heard me say before. They wasted $600 million to shave legs and give free breast implants to transgenders in prison. I don't understand who in their right mind will say, this is a great idea. Let's make sure that prisoners can shave their legs and have some fake boobs. I wonder who's going to have fun with that. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. And then you have a problem. We have spent billions of dollars on a homeless issue for the last 2-3 years. And the homeless issue is just gotten worse. They punish those private, entities that come in and help clean up and do all this stuff. but they don't do anything themselves. We will work on gun laws. Calm down, SA. We will work on gun laws. We're going to work. Listen, the longer that I get to stay in power, the longer that we're going to be able to fight for all of these things. And I will say this. If you are a criminal, if you get caught committing a crime, you are going to be in jail for a very long time. And I'm going to make sure that the Attorney General knows that this is what we're looking for. Again, Congress, the legislative has to make the laws. I can only tell them. I can only refer to them. I can do executive orders to temporarily hold something. I can do an executive order to partially block some things. But at the end of the day, I have to work with the legislative branch and the judicial branch. Now, I don't want to have the judicial branch to just do what I say. I want them to be fair. I want them to be blind like Justice Lady. You know what I'm saying? Proof, facts, not feelings, no activism, no emotions, but facts, common sense. You got to have that. Legislative, who do you work for? Are you working for the American citizens who are Washingtonians and the residents, or are you working for illegal immigrants? That is a big question. I can tell you, I'm serious. Listen, in a perfect world, it would have happened already. But if we get the right set mentality for leaders here in Washington State, I can guarantee you everybody's life will improve. As I said, and I'm not just saying this because they're Hispanic, but it's true. DACA document holders goes back to the 1990s. Why are they not residents? If they're able to stay here for 20 years with permission, not illegally, with permission, what are they waiting for? A lot of people are intimidated by applying for a green card. It's not that hard. You go to the website and then you fill in the information. That's it. If you're a DACA document holder, you have a permission to work. Show your statements. Maintain your good credit. Don't commit crimes. Apply. You will be approved. It will take some time, but you will eventually be approved. 20 to 30 years, and people have still not become residents, have not been put in a way to citizenship. What are the requirements? And the requirements, unfortunately, a lot of people are not following. And this is why they think that President Trump is a dictator, an authoritarian. Why? Because he's enforcing the laws that already exist. That's not a dictator. That's not an authoritarian. That is a leader who is following the law. There are things that the president, the executive branch, has authority over. And Congress doesn't have to like it. But that is the power of the executive branch. Here's the biggest problem that the Democrats do. When the president, I don't care that they don't like him, when the president is trying to make a deal with foreign countries, they fight against the president every step of the way. Every step of the way, they fight the president. So what do our enemies do? They listen. They watch. Communist China, other organizations are paying protesters, agitators, to go from state to state to make it look like everybody in the states is against Trump, and it's not true. But the enemies are watching that. They see it happening right before their eyes. The Strait of Hormuz, Iran would have no hope at all if Congress aligned with President Trump's strategies. America first. America first. Some people say both sides. You don't even know what the fuck you're saying. You don't know how to distinguish both sides. You're a fucking retard. Let me tell you what pisses me off about the stupid people like Manuel Correa. What pisses me off about your stupid ass mentality is that you come in here, you don't support American citizens, and then you go ranting about both parties, both sides. That is not how you measure justice. Of course nobody's perfect. Of course both parties have issues. But my point is, right now, we would have finished this war with Iran if it wasn't for the Democrats. It is what it is. These people just now are trying to backtrack their comments about defunding the police. DSA doesn't. DSA wants to defund the executive branch. They want to abolish ICE, law enforcement, Congress, the Senate. They want to abolish the Constitution. That's Democrats. I don't care how you slice it. Again, no, it had to start. See, that's the problem. That's the problem with you. I believe it had to be done. Everybody and their mama talked about it, and nobody had the balls to do it. So now President Trump has done it. Let me tell you why Congress is against President Trump. It's very obvious. And the Senate, and I'm talking about Democrats and some rhinos. Because if Trump wins, it makes him look good. It's very simple. Very simple. You know when I started going hardcore on my channel? When I saw every single Democrat state-seated. When President Trump asked, and it breaks my heart, if you believe American citizens should be prioritized before illegal immigrants, people that have no rights, only American citizens, over illegal immigrants, stand up. They betrayed our country in that moment. And they made it clear, not just to us, the Americans, but to the world and our enemies. And they are paying attention. So if you get tired of me saying Democrats, well, they're the ones that put illegals before American citizens, so I will always say Democrats. Senator Fetterman gets to take a piece of that because he is a Democrat. And if you don't want to take responsibility for it, then you need to stop supporting Democrats. It's not that hard, people. You choose. Choose your countrymen. You see all these Hispanics, Jorge, Sean, all these people that called in. Black, Hispanic, white, Caucasian, whatever you want to call them, Irish, Scottish. All of these people are Americans. America does not mean white, even though my ass is pretty white. You know what I'm saying? But I got some black in the front, if you know what I mean. The United States of America is such a great country. Our enemies are so jealous of the American way. They call us terrorists. They hate our culture. They said Americans don't have a culture. Are you fucking kidding me? Whew. We have a lot of culture. We have a lot of culture. It's not a white country. But I can tell you, we got some fantastic Mexican cuisine, Honduran cuisine, Latin cuisine, French cuisine, Italian cuisine. There's some Native Americans that are still cooking their old traditional ways. Our culture is so rich because we are a melting pot. Our culture is every culture that surrounds us. Do you know what a culture means? What do you think a culture is? Let me look up the definition of culture. Here we go. Culture is the shared way of life of a group of people. You see what I'm saying? So you can grab some Mexican culture, which is already melted by the different Indian tribes in Mexico. Some colonized by Spaniards, some by French, some by Italian. But the point is that Mexico is also a melting pot. Big Floyd in the house. So Mexico has a flavor that is fantastic. Honduras is a melting pot. All the countries in America, we are all melting pots. And this is the cultures that we have. The United States of America probably has one of the best cultures in the world. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Not all of Mexico. Every country has good people, bad people. You know, the cartel, the Mexican cartel wouldn't exist if the Mexican government was very good to the people. Arroz y frijoles, I can never get tired of rice and beans, man. You can make it in so many ways. And if you make it right, you will never get tired of it. You know what my favorite dish is? This is a dish that I can never, ever, ever get tired of eating. And I can eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I will never get tired. That's right. I am a beaner. That should give you a hint. What do you think my favorite food is that I can never get tired of eating? Anybody? Tacos and burritos, that's too generalized. Food. Make me a plate. What do you think is my favorite food? It's a very typical plate for most likely Central Americans. But in Honduras, I like to eat smashed beans, refried smashed beans, eggs, scramble over easy. I like to have ripe, fried plantain chips. It gets sweet when you cook it. And then the sour cream or cheese. The sour cream has a flavor. If you ever try to make this at home, grab a bar of Philadelphia cheese. Grab a thing of whipped milk. Throw it together, mix it until it becomes a little bit runny. You can make it as runny as you want, and then just add a little bit of salt to taste. That's the sour cream that we have in Honduras. It's not sour. It's actually, that's just the way that I can describe it to you. And I can eat that every single day, 3 times a day, and I can never, ever get tired of it. It's just, tastes so good. Flavors are, you got the bean taste, you got the egg taste, you have the sour cream taste, you got the plantain, all of it at the same time. It's fantastic. And you can switch it up with some chorizo, some sausage. You see what I'm saying? Here's a tip for you people who are not beaners like me. In order for you to really enjoy fried beans, you have to make them a day early, cook them, fry them, and save them for the next day, and then refry them. That's what it's called, refried beans. best taste. I'm a beaner, so don't take my word for it. You got to try it yourself. With that being said, man, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. Don't worry. We're going to go live in Mobile 1. I will take some more calls in my car. Guys, I'll take a break. I will see you guys in a bit. God bless you. God bless your family. And don't forget, God bless the USA. Americans first. Because if America is first, the world is a better place. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.